those things, right? It came up on Facebook that they had some leftover in stock from the first release from TFCon. I was like, oh, I think I want that. And I was in between stuff at work, so it was like it gave me that like momentary thrill you get from an online purchase. And I'm like, okay, now I gotta just wait.
Neptune's the Cosmos, right?
It's
No.
it's the Sea Spray from
Sea
X
Spray.
Transport.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Actually, the Planet Steel exclusives go up in an hour, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Ooh, we're gonna put a pause on this live broadcast.
Yeah, I think I want that blue. I want that blue RC. I think.
Yeah, Gord got me one at TFCon. I'm excited for it because of the eccentric colors.
Do you though, Brian? You want that blue RC? Why? You don't got the MMC one?
Dude, I think I'm just lonely. I think.
So wait, Brian, are you gonna get all the colors that they're gonna do? Just like
no, I just want that. She's a nurse. There's a fantasy there. You see those videos. Time for your sponge
Well,
bath.
dude, I really wanted that Ace Collectibles Trident Sea Spray, but I think they're that's like never gonna happen. I think they're done. So.
Oh Jesus, I forgot all about that.
Remember that one they did the fun commercial and it had like the feet that could be skinny or fat and it came with the little like pink alien lady with her.
Came with the whole friend.
Yeah, the whole I like boats, that whole like commercial. I was like, but this third party world, you can't really rely on people sticking around too long, I guess. So
that's real. Yeah, it's real.
That's true.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 77 of Breaking the Mold. I'm Harrick and BX. Let's just get right into it. Brian Brink, what's up, dude?
Oh, hey, what's up, guys? Happy Tuesday. I'm good. I had some Realm homework to do and stuff, but got that done right before the buzzer. Typical of how I used to do homework back in school days.
Oh, me too, dude. Me too.
Homeroom was the shits.
Yeah, I was doing shit on the bus on the way to school, fucking studying for tests, fucking 10 minutes before fucking class. Yeah.
Dude, the whole room. I'm going to my friend who like every friend that's in my classes for the next three classes. I'm like, did you get your homework done? I'm like, yeah, can I take a look at it?
Who are you guys?
I used to just get the girls to do it for me. So,
dude, I'm such a nerd. Never mind.
I did mine in school suspension. I was always in school.
Graffitiing on the walls and painting the bathroom
No,
stalls.
I just didn't go.
Sounded like my sister during her freshman year. She just fucking went total rebellion. You know what I'm saying? Fucking didn't do shit. Didn't go to class. That wound up putting all of us in Catholic school.
Well, so who's the oldest on the panel?
I was 777 is me.
No, I meant like, do you have like in terms of siblings?
I'm probably the oldest.
I'm the youngest.
I'm the oldest.
Jose's
I'm the middle child.
Dom's the middle. So I was the oldest also, and Jose, like, I went to Catholic school from 3rd grade all the way through high school.
So did I.
And Gary's parents had a real good marriage.
So I don't know what that means. Like
8 Mile, bro. 8 Mile.
Gary, why 3rd grade? I was 3rd grade too.
Because we moved. My parents moved from Chicago to Ohio when my father took a new job, and I went to public school, kindergarten through 2nd grade. And the neighborhood they moved into had an elementary school which closed like within months of my parents buying the house. And the Cleveland public schools after the first 2 years were just not very good. My mom realized so. But they were just so strict with me. So I'm such a nerd compared to you guys because I was like literally come home from school, change out of your uniform, shirt and tie, and I had to sit at the table in the dining room and like do my homework until it was done. And
this was during high school as well.
Well, I mean, by high school it was like ingrained in me, like a habit.
Yeah.
Gary, you know you're my boy, right? But
yeah,
it explains a lot.
Dude, it does.
Dude,
I listen. I was just gonna say this. I am a grown ass man. I can do whatever I want when I want. And like on my days off of work, if I haven't like done my chores in terms of like just cleaning the house that I want, right? For me, like self-imposed chores, like I can't go have fun. Like it's ingrained in me. I can't have any fun until like the stuff is done. It's ridiculous. I know. It's sad.
It's been ingrained in you, but you know what? That is actually a very useful skill in life. Even though I wish I was a little bit more like that because I'm the type that I give myself the treat before I get to work sometimes.
Yeah. I really am. It's like, oh, get everything done first and then have like the rest of the day. I'm like, it's hard. Like I go way too extreme to that way versus, the spontaneousness. I'm sure that surprises anybody who's met me. I'm sure.
Right. Oh man. Yeah. So, all right, cool. Brian. Next up, should I switch it up?
Yes.
Switch it up. Gary, what's up, dude?
Dude, all right. I had a actual eventful weekend.
Oh my god!
he
I'm
was
so
getting
excited.
next.
Dude, I am. Dave heard this. So we are trying to take advantage. I do nothing but
Hear it again.
what do you say?
He's gonna hear it again.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, I'll go take a piss.
No, so listen, everyone. I've been complaining about living here in southern Canada. So we went hiking to this. It's an actual ski mountain called West Mountain. It's just south of Lake George. If anybody knows, like upstate New York stuff, and it was really cool. But it was like real hiking. So I'm probably in the middle. I'm not a hardcore outdoorsman, but I've gone camping. I was a Cub Scout and a Boy Scout. I like doing stuff outside, but this was like you take the ski lifts up to the top of the ski mountain and then like try and hike your way back down. But it's been so rainy for the month of June, they hadn't labeled any of the trails. So it was really like navigating. And my wife and I, we were up there for like 4.5 hours by the time we made it all the way back down to the bottom. So it was good exercise, but it was tough. It was, it wasn't like Forest Preserve Pass. It was like real hiking. So it was good. It was a fun Saturday. And then it actually wasn't raining. So I have half of the top off of my Jeep in the garage. Finally got that taken apart. So that was pretty cool. So I've been
Did you guys rustle in the bushes a bit when you were lost in the woods?
So no, because I'm kidding you not.
You're scared of poison ivy.
Ski mountain. No, it was so. You talk about a workout like ROC Wellness. You think it's hard going uphill, but going down
yeah.
really like your calves and your quads and your ass is like sore.
Yeah.
So yeah,
you need to go down walking backwards. That's the trick.
It's fucking roll down.
Dude, Dave, there was no romance.
Roll down
it was
like
just
an Ewok.
I was like, let's get back. Let's get back to the car. I'm like,
No romance on that hike.
No, not at all. Good exercise, but I've been telling myself to try to take advantage of like anything else, right? Take advantage of what's around you, and not complain so much. So it was a good weekend for that. So I'll take it.
Nice. All right,
Yeah.
Big Dom, what's up, dude?
What's going on, guys? Had a good weekend. Ended up going to Asbury Park, meeting up with some old high school friends, and we went to the Wonder Bar down there. Had a couple, drank it up over there, and then we headed over to the Stone Pony Summer Stage, where they had Money Buddy Boss Tones playing. And,
Oh, nice.
And a New Jersey band called what is it? Bouncing Souls. If you ever heard of them, I don't know if you have.
Nope.
Yeah,
Bouncing Souls were they were pretty good. They were really good. They were the headliner, so. It was like a 30th anniversary where they were playing. They started in Asbury and Wonder Bar and all of that stuff. So
nice. I thought I saw a picture of you on Facebook, like with some guys that weren't us. I was like,
You notice he takes selfies and shit when he's with them, and he don't take them when he's with us.
Dude, I like tower. I tower you guys too, but I tower my friends, my high school friends too. So like my one friend was holding his his fucking phone, trying to videotape the stage and everything. I'm like, give me that. And I'll just like hold it up higher, like 2 feet higher than him, and so I just grabbed his phone and I took he was taking selfies of him and his girlfriend and all that stuff. So I took a selfie of everybody. So
nice.
But,
I expect that treatment the next time we all get together.
No.
Oh, cool stuff, man.
Don't you guys know that I'm embarrassed of you? See, Jesus. Get the memo.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't put us on his regular Facebook. That's why.
Dude, you're all over my regular Facebook.
Where's his dirty little secret?
You go on my homepage. It's all you and fucking NJCC pictures. That's all it is.
It's because I tag your ass.
Stop tagging me, man.
Who are these nerds?
You're like, Dom, this is what you do in your spare time, Nikki.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Nick,
All right, Enter John Addict. What's up, Pop?
who's that? Oh, that's yo. I had a fucking weekend and a half. I tell you, I decided to have my cousins and some friends of, you could say like almost family, really. You know what I mean? Friends over, and that was Saturday. So I woke up early. I went, picked up all the shit for the barbecue and whatnot. Came back, cleaned the house, and then was cooking probably for the rest of the day. So that they came around 2:00 and they stayed like till midnight. So it was a really long night. My god kids were here. Everybody enjoyed the toy room. That's one thing. Everybody was like, "Oh man, I didn't know you were into it this much," you know.
Oh, nice.
And I have my soon-to-be 11-year-old goddaughter and her younger brother who's 8. Both like, "You're so childish, Uncle Dave." I'm like, "I'm childish." I'm like, "You're asking me to touch this shit, but I'm childish. I'm the coolest uncle you fucking ever have, you know?" But like, it was like their ongoing thing the whole night, to the point, they were just making themselves laugh. Everything I did, they were like, I wound up wearing my Ewok hat throughout the night just to make it even more so that I was childish, But it was fun. The next day I had a party at my in-laws, and I wound up having to work the grill on that, at that party too. So for 2 days I smell of barbecue. So I really didn't want. On Monday I was telling my boy at work, I was like, I don't want to eat barbecue for a long time. Like, when you cook it all, you really don't want to be around it. You know what I mean? Or even eat it after. I had so much stuff that I didn't cook from Saturday. I had to cook it Monday, so I wound up eating it yesterday again anyway, like burgers and sausages and all this shit. So,
oh, you're over it. You're fucking over it now.
I'm over it, but overall, good. Good times. Just not really much rest over the weekend. So, come Monday morning, I did not want to get up for work.
Was that planned for you to be to cook on Sunday, or just
no,
turned
man?
out to be that way?
You know what it is? Her mom decided to have a bunch of their friends over. They wanted to see the kids. They haven't seen my kid or whatever. They invited my parents, and her mom was cooking so much shit inside the house that she needed help on the grill. And now, my father-in-law was being host, and also he was drinking a little too much. Yeah. So he wasn't paying attention to the grill, so I took over. But I mean, for the amount of people that were there, was a lot of fucking food. Every time you had to do a specific item, whether it was chicken, it filled up the whole grill. Then you had to do the steak, whole grill. Like, it was just like, oh.
All right.
Yeah, done with it. I'm done with it. No, I'm not cooking for none of y'all. Fuck it.
Damn it.
You don't love us.
Yeah, all right.
Guess I can't come over this weekend.
That's when you know when Dave loves you. He cooks barbecue for you.
Yeah, right.
I gotta think. Have I done a bar? I don't even think I've done an official barbecue yet this summer. It's always sad. Don't
worry. I've never done a barbecue either, Jose. So and I have a barbecue sitting right out there.
Summer's not over yet, guys.
No. Yeah, I was gonna say it's like mid-July. You got tons of time.
Yeah, we got time. It always happens at the end of summer for me. It's usually how it goes. All right, JD, everybody's favorite pigment surgeon. How are you?
Favorite? Are you sure?
Yep. Everybody's favorite. I know it. It's fact.
It's fact. Hi, everybody. Hey, there's.
Don't be humble. Don't be humble. Just know that shit, all right? Own that shit. Own it, JD.
If you say so.
JD, did you have another weekend of people all over your house?
No. Good. It was kind of quiet around here. We ran around for a bit yesterday, and then Sunday, we just pretty much hung out here. And I worked on a diorama pretty much. She helped a little bit. I entered into a competition back in like June, and of course I crammed at the last minute to finish it.
It's the way to do it, man.
Yeah.
Procrastination.
Yeah.
So when did you have to submit it?
Sunday.
Come on, paint dry. I gotta take a picture.
Okay, and the next question: when did you start?
Let's
Sunday.
See. My first, the first date stamp I think was June 30th.
But when did you do the bulk of the work? Like I would say, like did you?
Yeah,
Did you,
it would have been like last week.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't cramp that much.
I mean, I kind of did. Like I had everything kind of
Like prepped and
just about ready to go.
I got
And then, I was like painting this and building that at the same time. And
But the concept was done, or the design in your head of what you were doing was done in June.
No.
No?
No.
When was that?
I mean, probably like the 12th or maybe the 10th of July.
Okay.
So, but I got it. There's still a couple things I want to do to it, but
When's the drawing or the judging or the whatever?
I have no idea. It was kind of a mess the way it was set up. Nobody knew where to send the entries to. So everyone was just posting them to the Facebook page.
Oh.
And then like the next day, the guy that set it up was like, no, email them to me. And then everybody's having trouble emailing them because you can only send so much information.
Gotta drive it. You gotta drive it over.
Yeah. Oh,
Jose told me that.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Google Drive.
it was a mess. I probably got disqualified. So because after a while I gave up. I'm like, you know what? Because like my email started to go through, and then it's like, oh no, you have, you're 96 megabytes or whatever, and you can only send like 30.
20 or 30, whatever the limit is.
Yeah, whatever the limit is. I'm like, okay, well then send them large, because it was like 9 megabytes, and it only sent like 6 of the pictures. So I'm like, whatever. And then I just messaged the guy and was like, look, I don't think all these pictures went through. Let me know if they do. If they don't, I already posted it to the Facebook group. So
All right, take a look.
yeah.
Yeah, with stuff like that, you just got to add them to a drive folder, make it shareable, and then just send that person that link to the drive so they could just grab all your photos.
I'm not
Sure.
tech savvy.
Yeah, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, there you go. 1, 2, 3.
You guys are lucky I know how to get on here.
Well, I just
I am completely retarded. I am retarded when it comes to this.
I just like how he said it too. Lucky that I can get on here.
That's funny. Well, hopefully some of the picks that did go through will get you some good judgment.
Yeah, hopefully.
We'll see.
I thought the idea was pretty cool. They were like, creativity, originality. They had like 4 different or 5 different, topics that they were judging on or whatever. And I mean, I haven't really seen anybody replicate like an 80s toy.
Well,
like a play set.
Yeah, JD, there is a thing Jason Young participated in and basically used a hashtag called This Week in Dioramas.
Yeah,
just use that, man, and you get some additional kudos in there.
Yeah, like we also have another chat it's like him, Chris, and Dan, and
what's the name of that chat?
The CB Live.
EB Live?
Yeah, like Crashbox Live.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. But he posted those videos in there because he was featured like every week so far, like multiple times on each video. And I finally got around to watching them last night. But then I went back and like hashtagged a bunch of my photos with that This Week in Dioramas.
Nice.
I'm lucky enough to own that one, the one that he keeps getting shouted out for, that Leia Dio he did.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's mine.
Oh, it's yours.
Nice.
Right here. Yeah. See it? Photo.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's Jason Young. Yeah,
Jason's crazy. He's the one that he did my Cybertron one for me too. Fucking dope. Did some dope work on that. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Anything else?
Not me. What about you?
Me, my weekend was low key. I was just trying to enjoy the last few days of vacation. I went back to work today. Wasn't as terrible as I thought, actually. Did have some catching up to do, and I was finding lots of mistakes. Still probably going to be finding them throughout the week, but for the most part, I thought I was going to have a bigger mess than I came back to. So the weekend was just low key, man. I was just watching wrestling, doing some podcasting, and just trying to get as much relaxation and because I knew work was going to be crazy. And I've been telling myself all day, I felt myself getting frustrated. I was like, nope, it's not going to happen. I ain't going to work myself up. You know what I'm saying? Just came back. I was like, I'm going to be good for at least a week before I let this place fucking go. It worked. So, I had a good day, good weekend. That's it. So, all right, guys, it was a busy weekend. TFCon Toronto, lots of picks and reveals and whatever coming out of that. I mean, I think a lot of stuff we saw wasn't really brand new, but some interesting tidbits coming out of the weekend. I think some of the guys want to discuss some of their favorites. And HasLab, big news yesterday, putting out a what is it, like a crowd fund for a Unicron?
A Planet Eater.
Yep. We had a very spirited discussion last year, very early in 2018, about the sail barge that they did. I think that episode was called Kickstart My Heart. So we might have some spirited discussion here tonight. I know Gary got some feelings on that. And then we also got a nice little screen share. I won't reveal what it is, but that'll come a little bit later on in the show. So guys, I don't know who wants to start, but what did you think of the picks that we saw coming out of TFCon Toronto? Dom.
I liked a lot. I definitely like the MMC the tapes. Like those tapes, I'm so stoked for the Autobot tapes. So
yeah,
dude, the ram horn and the fucking
ram horn.
The ram horn looks really fucking dope. And like the colors pop, and I just to have a set like that with that is comparable to the ones that they made for Soundwave. I didn't get the the Lazy Beak or the Buzzsaw. Yeah, the Lazy Beak. Buzzsaw, because
I'm renaming this episode right now.
Yeah, Lazy Beak and the Buzzsaw, because they just fucking are way too big. I like my turkey about like a 6-pounder. They were like 12-pound turkeys, and that's like fucking turkey for like 2 weeks. So
damn, you guys ever spatchcock a turkey?
Oh, no. That's a new term I learned last night.
Yeah, me too. But they look great. Did
you think that they actually? Did you like that they actually revealed like all 4 of them instead of just showing?
Yes.
Like, and they got that. Brian has that picture up, and they just putting them all together like that. Just looks really fucking cool.
I think that helps to sell it.
Have Blaster in the background, and there you go. Charging fucking Soundwave and his 4 cassettes, just fucking kills it. So
yeah, I can't wait for those.
Gary, are you in for these? They're animals.
They look good. They look cool.
Pink enough.
Yeah, as I said, I need those eccentric, Kiss players colors, right? They look good.
I just hope they do a Rat Bat. Like, I hope they go back and do. I know, some of the other cassettes are kind of, unknown and just, they're out there. But like, at least a Rat Bat would be.
You nice want a giant Rat Bat?
Yeah, dude, just a big ass Rat Bat. I always thought Rat Bat was bigger than Laserbeak and Buzzsaw, but whatever.
Do you guys think that oh, my bad, Dom.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, since we don't have like a blaster from Takara Tomy yet, and we only got the KFC one that's come out, right? Do you think that MMC might tackle blaster since they're putting out these tapes?
No,
I doubt it.
I don't think so either.
They didn't do Soundwave, but they did tapes.
Yeah.
And not with that news that came out there.
I mean, it really wouldn't make sense because their tapes aren't going to fit inside of it.
Yeah, they're more for for the characters themselves. So yeah, I get that. Chuck in the chat is saying Senator Rat Bat is coming from MMC.
Yeah, the IDW Senator Rat Bat. That shit is nice.
You saw it? There's pics.
There's pics of it. They pics of it this weekend.
Oh, I didn't even.
They did it for the reformatted line, yeah. They're using it's a remold, right, Dave? Of the wing.
I think they
Yeah.
said. what
Yeah,
mold
it's
was.
one of the. Is it the drift or the?
Yeah,
It's
it's right
the wing.
here.
Yeah, it's the wing.
Okay, yeah, Brian got the picture.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a remold of his wing.
Aero Alpha. Yeah.
That's kind of balls, though. I would have rather that had been like either the cassette or, I mean, it's cool, kind of like to get the character. Like I get it, you know what I'm saying? But I would have preferred for that to not be a remold. But
I just like it because it's purple. I'm like, yeah, buddy.
It does look cool.
Bat.
It reminds me of like the fucking bat plane.
The Batwing, yeah.
The bat wing.
That way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it does. It's kind of cool.
yeah,
That's it. It's so Brian now. Brian's like, all right.
Nah, man. If they do a convention exclusive or this is black and they put ears on this dude
Oh.
and a cape, you know, they like to put capes on these
They
guys.
do like to do the cage, you're right.
Batman Transformer right there.
You know what was fascinating to me though, watching the news and watching on ETR last night and just the feeds and stuff is we joke, and how many shows and podcasts have talked about third party in 5 years, like 5 years ago when it was all newer stuff, but just how what's what I'm looking for, but like the field of companies, or at least company titles, really have diffused down to just a few left, right? There just seemed like there were so many companies that had nothing to show, nothing there. You know what I mean? It's just interesting.
Kind of like in the chat today, and Dom was like, "Yeah, all the stuff that Fans Project showed us."
Yeah.
Fans Project.
Fans Project is awesome, dude. You see all that new stuff that they're coming out with?
Well, it's like
Wonderful.
the Make, like Make Toys, right? I know they did the repaint for G2 Starscream for the California show, but they didn't have anything for this one, did they? I don't think.
Nope.
Right, and like last year they did the G2 Jazz for the Downbeat, but I don't think they revealed anything except their other Kickstarter / crowdfunding Purple Rainmaker stuff.
Oh, you're right. They didn't do
Yeah.
an exclusive.
Yeah, they didn't have one, but they didn't show anything else really new for any of their lines, like the remastered line, the Headmasters, or right, what's the other one called?
the Cross Dimension.
Yeah, right. I don't think they showed anything for that either.
No,
It was just
they didn't
some
show
of these
cross dimension stuff.
yeah, right. Yeah, it's fascinating.
Do you think somebody's there might be saving it for wrestling? Like, you think that's the thing? They don't want to show all the cards, keeping it close to the vest, kind of.
I personally, I don't know. I feel like I feel like we've gone through a cycle of the reveals, right, and like the silhouettes for a long time, to holding everything really close because people were copying each other and doing the same character.
Mm-hmm.
But I think now that the companies that are still around are branching out into their own stuff. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just felt like if we didn't hear from a company, maybe there's not going to have much of a presence much anymore.
Chuck was saying that they're still selling the Make Toys L exclusives from LA at this show.
Oh, interesting.
really?
Yeah.
Wondering if that's a hint of any like financial issues or what, because they do have a lot like those their hands in like those different like little lines and stuff. It seems like they're okay. Like I think they're regarded as one of the higher companies, but interesting that you didn't get anything new, like any new reveals.
Yeah.
So like with reveals, right? Like typically, I'm just asking you guys. It's not me making a statement. Like when they show something, how long does it take to come out? And I'm not talking about Fans Toys. I'm talking about everybody else.
I think lately
Things have been coming out faster
yeah,
than usual, right?
yeah.
And it has to do with what you just said before, right? About copying each other and stuff like that. So if they were to reveal stuff in in October for Reston, close to Christmas, spending money time, I think that maybe they might be holding out for that. But that's just me making an assumption,
Yeah.
Also,
usually people
you got to
spending
remember
money in November and December and all that shit.
Yeah, you got to also remember too that this was only a 1 year show, and at the end of the day, Toronto was like their mother show, like the mothership show that that they would have, that they came from. They started in Toronto, so like they would reveal a lot at this show. But now since it's a two shows a year.
Yeah, it's 3, right?
Yeah, 3.
They did California and then Toronto and then Virginia.
Exactly. So spread
it out maybe a little differently, maybe.
Yeah, so like now they're like, if we don't have to rush things out or get show everything at one show, maybe if
nobody's
they're
buying it.
yeah, well,
I get it,
the
but
other
I
one.
mean, like they know that not everybody that collects this shit's gonna show up to the show, So
Yeah.
we all know what's coming out, and we're all expecting to buy half this shit. But we didn't show up there, right? So
yeah,
I just don't get why would they hold off on showing things? They should be showing things like more frequently throughout the year, not waiting for a specific show. But I guess that's what people look forward to, So
Yeah. And I mean, and it's true. Like maybe, I think it is the companies that control, I guess, any of these reveals that they're going to pull out. And now with more shows per year, before 2, now 3, there's just probably not enough content. So maybe it is a thing of just kind of spreading it out, spreading the love.
Yeah, and not only that, I think, with the internet and stuff, we can see and learn about everything that's coming out soon. That third party panel, I think, is more or less just a showcase for the casuals, people to come and be like, hey, what's all this about? Learn about it, kind of thing. Be like, wow, look at what these people are making and stuff, and, I'll never see this in Toys or Walmart or whatever, kind of thing. So
I think they're trying to capture like a SDC type of mentality where,
Right.
I think, where anyone who's going to SDC is going to go and see what's coming out next, what's the next reveals, and your major toy companies are going to basically are holding off on and keeping it tight-lipped in regards to what's going out and what they're showing. So I think with regards to TFCon, I think and the third party being a third party type of convention and utilizing that third party panel as that type of atmosphere where you're going to showcase what's coming up next for these major third party companies and giving that look. And it worked it's been working in the past and it's been like that. And that's what the reputation that is gained. But like the thing is, now they're doing so many multiple shows. It's like, I think, you're taking, you have one whole pizza pie. Now you're taking a couple slices, put it into this show, a couple slices of this show. And then some third party companies are like, you know what, let's not rush this out just yet. Let's wait for the next show and we'll put it out when we're good and ready. So they don't have to rush anything. They can hold off and what they're doing next and capture in the rest of the show or, their fall show instead of their summer show. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in a way, I feel like if you don't see much coming out of like events like this, it can be disappointing. But I do like the fact that now when they do show something, you're more or less getting it relatively soon, probably within a month or 2 months.
Yeah.
I prefer that practice of seeing shit like a year ahead, and and who knows if it comes out or not, So anything else?
Well,
somebody
in the
came
main line,
out swinging, though.
yeah, someone did for sure. Fucking Hasbro with that fucking Planet Eater.
Yeah, that's a different case though, just because of what they're doing there. Did anybody else see anything else coming out from the weekend? I thought
I'm interested to see more about that. What is that company? Banana Peels?
Banana Force.
Banana Force. I'm really interested to see what those figures look like because they're another company. I don't know whether they're going to be compatible in regards or up to snuff in regards to what Flames Toys or 3A is doing.
Bananas.
But it looks pretty good. Like, some of these pictures, when you look at the articulation in some of these joints and stuff that they have, I don't know. A picture looks good, but when you actually have it in hand, it might look, feel like shit, whatever the material is and stuff like that. But it looks like, look at it. Like it looks pretty, like granted it's RID, it's going for a specific niche market in regards to that, but so is Flames Toys, so is 3A stuff. So it's like, but some of this stuff really looks good. I think you can snap on the armor to the skeleton and then the skeleton is basically the robot that has the joints and the articulation, and then you can snap everything onto it.
Yeah,
I don't think it's like you're making like a Fans Toys model where you're on sprues. I'm sure this. I don't know how Flame Toys
models?
Sorry.
No.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe they're just showcasing the metal skeleton on the inside.
Yeah, I just like to see what like I would like to. I don't know whether this was at the show already. Or how it looked compared to a Flames Toys or a 3A figure. Like, I don't know. but like I would like to see in hand like what they look like, and it'd just be interesting because it'd be another company into that market where you have a non-transformable toys and putting out something. They're focusing on RID because nobody else is doing it, which is smart, I would say. But at the end of the day, I would like to see some of these companies actually compete in the same niche, whether it's G1 or IDW or movies, and see who can do the best. But in comparable in regards to 3A and Flames Toys, I think they're both high up there. Granted, there's a price differential between the two, but they're still putting out good products.
Yeah. JD, it looks like it's a figure.
Yeah, from
Like
the
Flames Toys.
it looks like it's articulated. Yeah, so I think that actually is
Kinda.
a decent market. That's sort of untapped. Like that. The non-transformable transformer market. As long as you're making
Dave, look at that thigh. Look at that thigh. Doesn't that look like a Flames Toys, like Tarn or the thigh?
They're trying to compete with Flames Toys. That's all.
Yeah. I'm thinking
They're gonna probably have a nice hefty bill to go with them, just like the Flames Toys does.
The cock thrust on there.
Look at that cock thrust. Yeah,
that's very fucking Flames Toyish.
It's a nice deco. This thing was high quality. Is this up for pre-order anywhere? Does anybody know?
No, I haven't seen it.
I think the concept of a non-transforming transformer character is becoming less of a debate for people as more, like you say, Dom, as more companies maybe enter into that idea at different price
more
points.
Accepting of a non-transforming transformer, and when if us as a community and Transformers are accepting that, I think more companies are going to go into that market, and I like here's a third company going into it. So.
Or it could be Flames Toys, and they're just
but that name,
that's bananas, JD.
Right? They're just they're doing the RID stuff, and they're just embarrassed to put the Flames Toys label on it.
But it's like what, like I don't know.
Is this official though? Like Flames Toys is official, right? Like
Flames Toys is licensed.
It could also be like the same thing. Like they have these designs, so they like started a third party company to.
To put them out. Yeah, to put them out.
So they could actually release them.
Ooh, we got the conspiracy theories.
He's already putting shit out there.
Come on, man. Think about it. Like all these companies, they all do this shit.
Yeah.
I will say it's like what is that, Robot in Disguise?
Yeah.
Line characters I vaguely am aware of them. They do nothing for me, but it is nice to see the variety. For the people who like those lines, we've had so many discussions and so many platforms around the end of G1 and the cartoons and, pre-movie up to the movie and after the movie. It's I think it's just exciting that there's.
I never said the other one. It says processing.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah, shit like that is overdue, dude. It's like for lines like that, like the lines that are not necessarily for the G1 fans. Like,
Yeah.
It's about time these fans get like their due with some of this stuff. And I think it's the perfect time because now you're coming up on the 25th anniversary of some of these shows. Those kids are adults now.
And it's good. Like I look at it like this. It's like, even if I personally don't have the interest in it, it's good for the hobby, I think, to have that, to make it viable, from an economic standpoint for these companies. As much as we don't know about what happens, it's I don't know. I just think it's exciting to see the energy put back in, even if it's not something for me specifically.
And this is a line that got a lot of people back into G1 fans back into Transformers. You got to remember that, because it's before this was like Beast Wars and all this Optimus Prime is not an piece of truck. Like so, at the end of the day, you're going back, and a lot of people reintroduced themselves back into Transformers through this line, and I think it definitely and with this, if it has the quality as a Flames Toys quality, I think, and the price is not as expensive as Flames Toys, I think this is going to be an underdog coming through the market, and these things are going to fly off the shelves.
I know very little about RID, and these are intrigued. I'm intrigued by these. They look. I just like the way they look. They pop. Like
refresh, Brian. Refresh.
Yep.
What, I'm coming to staticky?
No. He's
checking the Planet Steel Express.
Brian, go back a picture. There was a Prime in the background of that, right?
This guy
what
here.
What Prime is that?
I think that's the Civil Warrior.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. That was that War Within Prime.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
That's the same version Spark Toys did a couple years ago, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks like it's a little bit busier than the Spark Toys design, but I mean, the Spark Toys figure, for as being as sort of simple as it was, I thought that thing was very serviceable if you wanted an Optimus rendition, you know?
It's going to be hard. It's not. I'm not saying that this new one's not going to beat that one, but like, you know, it's the one that they came out first was really a good quality toy.
Yeah. I know like you guys probably on the panel probably not into Beast Wars much, but I dug that that seems like another company is tackling those like those T-Beast designs, like the Optimus Primal that's like a robotic.
Yeah,
looks like there's another company doing G, because G Creations is doing it. Yeah, that, and it looks actually different than the G Creations, also like in the gorilla mode and stuff. So even though it's similar, looks like they're going in a slightly like different direction. So I don't know. I just wish we could have seen more than the wireframe, but
Yeah.
That's kind of the thing that caught my eye. As far as just seeing things that were like original, because I just felt like there wasn't a ton of original things, you know.
Yeah, I got definitely a lacking from previous years, like the good old days. But you know, you would expect that happening these days. You know, I don't think you're gonna get, you know, balls to the wall, all brand new stuff, everyone pushing out like and telling like, you know, Keith. You know, I don't think you got much from any, like, you know, X-Trans Battle or KFC or stuff like that. So
X-Trans Battle.
Did I say X-Trans?
Yo, write down all the Domisms tonight, bro.
That's like the fourth one for today already.
Did I say X-Trans Battle?
Lazy.
Yes, you did.
That's our fucking goddamn new third-party company, X-Trans Battle. Fucking put some toys out, JD. Come on.
Copyright that right away.
Me?
Yeah, man. You're the fucking artist of the group and designer. Come on, get it fucking done.
Who's the engineer here?
Not me.
Who's got all the money?
I'm a cost engineer, not a.
Did anybody else have any highlights from the show over the weekend? Anything that stood out to you guys?
I'm curious about the you know, the little cliff jumper teaser we got.
Yeah, same here.
Fuck the rest of that shit. It still looks good, but that's the one that I'm most.
Yeah, I think we're going to talk more about it. But the I've always said, like, I don't know, that the Soundwave is pretty cool story, and I'm excited to see what it looks like from Fans Toys.
Mm-hmm.
This piqued my interest here. The Armada Optimus for Fans Hobby. Even though I'm not the biggest Fans Hobby fan, but we haven't seen much. You know, nothing's been done with this guy, right? Nope. So Takara teased something interesting. I think back at one of the toy shows. But yeah, man. I mean, if this thing's got a trailer, that's gonna be wild shit. But we'll see. Actually, look like the crotch splits apart. Because if so, maybe could be because that's where he splits. It's where these become his arms. If you guys remember.
Yeah.
In the Armada. Yeah. So we'll see. Perhaps. We shall see. So, what about this?
Wait, that Armada Optimus doesn't look like a full size figure to me though. Like it looks like a Legends or something like that. I don't know. Like
it'll scale
the hand. Look at the hands.
It'll scale with their the rest of the stuff.
Look at the hands. He's got articulated fingers.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
that's the dead giveaway, right, Brian?
That's right. When Legend starts doing this, it's gonna be a whole new fucking ball game with their hands.
They look at the size of the hands. It's determined to, you know. Yeah.
I don't know. Like I feel like those shots that they got there trying to show the articulation doesn't like look that impressive. You know?
What does Dust always say? Look for the mom hands.
Yeah, look for the mom hands.
Go the other direction, right? Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's talk about this because this is first I want to know who's in.
I'm fucking in. I'm buying like 6 of them.
I I'm considering going in on another one just because I know like it's somebody's gonna fucking want
Dude,
it,
the
and
fucking
somebody's
sail
gonna pay
barge
latex.
fucking sold. You don't think this is gonna sell? You fucking crazy.
All right, though 8,000 backers though, and the 575.
Dude, you got like
tag.
1,100 right now. On the second day, it's already 1,100.
All right. So you have no kind of doubt.
1,100.
So you have no doubt that it's gonna get back. Though.
Oh yeah. Dude, everybody's been waiting for something like this. If you were like a Transformer, like, you know, back in the day, you're looking for this. Granted, yeah, I'm not saying the Cybertron Armada, which, you know, and you know, is not a good figure. It's a good figure, but like this is what everyone. This is fucking Unicron, dude.
It looks amazing.
Yeah. I said it last night. I think this is the closest any Transformers fans are going to get to it, getting an MP Unicron, like an accurate looking Unicron from that movie.
You're gonna get. You got Metroplex. You got Fortress Max. You got fucking. You got Omega coming out. You got Devastator, Predaking. You got some big fucking bots, and to just cap your if you're a Chug collector and you want to cap your fucking collection, this is it. And for example, and it's also, I know you guys talked about it yesterday, but like you got your Legends fans that are gonna want this if you want to do a nice ass fucking Dio with all the Legends attacking it, you know.
Yeah, I could imagine just the people making like the Dio Cybertron, just like for the part when he's throwing his hand on it.
Yeah, dude, I want
you're right.
Get on it, KD. Get on it, KD.
I want somebody's DX9's Grimlock fucking taking a fucking chunk out of this guy's ass. You know,
his fingers don't splay though.
Yeah, but I think it's gonna definitely fund. You know, it's crazy people thinking it's not, but it's going to.
All right, so let me ask you guys a question, right? So I heard Dom say, if you collect Chug or you're a Legends collector, you gotta have this, and that I completely agree with. Now, what do you think about people who just collect MP scale stuff?
No,
dude. You know what though? I would say yes, because you're not gonna get this character in MP scale. There's no way they could scale Unicron. You know what I'm saying? So, are they gonna make a higher end version of this? This is already high end. They're asking for fucking $600. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to ask for anything more than that for a figure like this. So if you want something to go, even if you're an MP collector, I feel like
in representation of this character, this is the character. This is the way you got to get.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll change my answer. It's not a no. It's a base per basis. Like if you're just looking for. If you're just an MP collector and you're looking for your 84 or 85 and you really don't care about the 86, you definitely don't need to get this figure. But like if you really want a representation of Unicron, Jose is completely right. They're not going to do a fucking goddamn masterpiece version of him.
So I just want to say this, right? So I think it looks good. It really looks really fucking good. All right, I'm not getting it, but I do appreciate it, and I think it looks awesome. I would pay even more money that people are complaining about paying the $575 for this, if the shit lit up, if it was, painted a little more in other places, then I would probably buy it. And I'm being a stickler, but it's the truth.
Yeah,
I feel that if it's for that amount of money, and for that item, it's like a centerpiece item. I'd want it to all the bells and whistles. I want it to light up and fucking when he goes into his fucking planet mode, the whole fucking circles to light up and all that shit.
Fucking Orson Welles sound bites and shit.
I'd be all in. Fucking add another $200 to it. I'd be all in.
I can almost hear the lines from the movie looking at this.
Yeah.
See, I agree with you, Dave. I would love to do this, but the fingers don't splay. I'm worried about those wings. If you have the other one, like the old one, the Cybertron one, like those wings are fucking shit, and it looks the same exact fucking material. It looks exactly the same. It's just yellow, not.
I don't
gray.
know. This is still early. Like I don't know. Like if this is what you could consider this, like what the final product is gonna look like. I feel like there's still gonna be things that are not even announced about the figure that, as far as features. Like we saw the open and closed mouth thing in planet mode, which I think is awesome. Like I think it would be dope if they give you some kind of switch out for the eyes, like give you shattered eyes or something. Like there's potential. Like here,
that would be dope. But I mean, if you're gonna ask people to back you, you should be telling them that right now.
Yeah.
So
like we say that with fans toys. Hey, you're coming out with another color. You should be upfront about it, right? Well, you should be upfront about if you're gonna do something special to this. Maybe you'll get more backers right away.
I mean, I feel like, just personally, it's just how I feel. Like I just think the look alone is the fucking sell job right there.
Yeah.
Like that's the fuck. Look at that's fucking Unicron.
I mean,
it does look good. It looks really good.
It's cheaper than a statue.
Yeah. It looks cool. I kind of am in the middle. Like I won't beat a dead horse. Like I've shared my opinion on the sail barge about the
beat it,
the
Gary.
practice. So we'll just say this again, right? It's an international company. I get it. Like it's cool to get the toy that you want, and I'll accept the fact in the world we live in, chances of getting it any other way are very unlikely. I do think it's pretty weak that such a large corporation wants to take your money up front, you know what I mean? And then again, hold your money until they produce it and collect interest on that much money, you know, 575 times 8,000. We did the math in the chats, right? It's over $4 million and collect interest even at like 3%. It's almost 300 grand. You know, and all they have to do is say that production is delayed for a month or two, and how much money are they going to collect off of your interest for that? But again, I'm not in production. I don't know the specifics.
That's the other thing. Like, you know, kind of to branch off of what you're saying, Gary, is like they obviously already have it done. They've already done all the work.
Right. They already spent money.
They just want the extra scratch to put it in production and make a fucking shit ton of money off of it.
And look, there's something wrong with the business making money. I don't have a problem with that. I guess I just, you know, and look, I'll be the first to also admit I'm a bit probably personally hypocritical, because if I wanted it bad enough, I probably would suck it up and I'd buy the toy that I wanted. You know, I've paid up front for stuff. Like we talk a lot about the Mythic Legions, right? They have multiple pre-orders that I paid for up front. But again, that's not an international company with the same resources. So, you know, but I'm excited for people to get it, because, you know, 4 or 5 years ago, I would have jumped on this in a second, because, you know, 11-year-old Gary who saw the 86 movie would have wanted this toy for sure. But now I just think, you know, I can appreciate seeing someone else's pictures of it, perhaps not have to own it myself. But I did find fascinating, just I don't want to tangent too much, was, you know, TFCon is not an official event, right? It's not like, you know, I mean, it's not like
BotCon was.
Yeah, right. So it's not sponsored. How crazy! We always talk about, does Hasbro care about third-party stuff? Do they, you know, consider it a threat? Do they feel that they're losing money to them in the big picture? You know, we always talk about that. That this announcement came out like right after all those other reveals.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Right?
You're saying they put this.
It's like a clapback. It's a clapback from Hasbro
during TFCon, just to.
They kind of do. They kind of do this every year, though.
Yeah.
But you guys,
I mean, but it is convention.
San Diego
exactly.
is this week.
Exactly.
So it's like
it can't be coincidence, though. You know, I'm just saying that's all.
I mean,
Gary, it was TFCon Toronto has always been.
It's like Gary.
The same, like the weekend right before SDCC for the last 3 years. So it's like I wouldn't say it's a coincidence. I would not.
Yeah.
I
agree. I agree with Dom. Like this is SDCC. Like we're gonna get reveals. Like, you know, and they usually do drop sometimes things like this right before the convention, just so to get the people fucking hyped. Like probably after the end of this weekend, there's gonna be another 1,000 people, 2,000 that probably pre-ordered that thing, and it's only a week that they put the thing out. So I mean, I want to get back to what you talked about though, Gary, like real quick, because I know the business practices. They're gonna make over $4 million. If they hold that money, they're making a crazy amount on interest. You'd probably be more keen to support an independent company, but does that make them any more right? Like if they did the same shit?
Yeah, look, I don't think it's right or wrong. I'm just saying, I think it just comes down to the desire for the product. You know what I mean? Like I said, if it was something that I really wanted more, I think we all agree. If we want the toy bad enough, like I'd suck it up and pay for it. Like again, Mythic Legions, I want horses and Pegasus and unicorns, right? And animal companions. Listen, Gary'd be all over that. If you gave me a 6-inch Knight Rider kit car, you know, with a Michael Knight figure that fit in a kit, I'm saying like a real like, on that in a second, because how badly I personally would like that item. And I wouldn't care about the business practices. I'd be like, yeah, someone's going to make the toy. I want that toy. Give it to me. I just, you know, personally don't have the feel for it, but you know, it's cool for people that want it. Do you guys remember what was the sail barge production number? I honestly don't remember. And I just was it 5,000?
Yeah, 5,000 people.
I just remember, you know, when we talked, it was like once it hit that number, right, and it was going to happen for sure. Like
up, yeah,
exactly, right. It was there was a
like
huge, yeah. So I wonder if that possibly that's why they set this one at like 8K, maybe. I don't know.
Oh yeah. I think they gauged it from the sail barge, and you know, Star Wars. I'm not saying Star Wars is definitely bigger than Transformers, but like,
yeah,
you know,
for sure.
At the end of the day, you know, this is a figure or a character that we've been waiting for, and it's going along with what they've been putting out with regards to Metroplex, Fortune Maximus,
So I want
and all that stuff. So
I want to bring something up. So I was talking to one of our other members, right, about this situation, and they had brought up MP44, right, and how MP44 is probably what, a quarter of the size, even, and the price that you're paying for MP44 as opposed to this is not that much different retail. You know, if you didn't jump in on it on Japan or whatever.
Yeah, what are you paying? You're spending like
So,
retail is what, $330 right now for MP44?
Half,
Yeah,
like half price basically.
So
Yeah, it's like
you know,
it's
who's
440.
getting over? You know, who's getting over here? Like, is it really? You know, 575 is not too bad for something this huge, but then, you know, what's the piece count for this as opposed to the piece count for the Optimus that we're paying slightly under that 575 for it?
Well, Dave, you're right. How many people have a third-party Omega in their collection? And if you bought the Fans Toy Cyclonus, you're right there. You know what I mean? I'm just like, you have this. You bought 2 third-party figures, and you're spending the same amount of money. You know, and I'm just saying, it's like it's not.
You buy,
you know.
you just mentioned 2 toys.
Yeah,
One
it's
is
2
the size
toys.
of the one that's 575.
Right, but I'm just saying, it's like, you know, people spend this much money pretty quickly, I think, in this hobby. You know, right? I mean, how many constructors are out there in different colors that range anywhere from $300 to $600 for the set, right?
Yeah.
Saying,
Yeah, but that's a set. You're paying for a set of 6 bots to turn into one huge one. When I'm talking about an Optimus Prime, that's $400 something, and it's just one toy.
true.
I have a theory. And it revolves around, you know, how you got third parties supposedly running rampant with their IP infringement, making all these toys that, oh, I don't need the masterpiece now. It's third parties taking care of me and everything. But what if the car is like, all right, well, let's put out some stuff this year to soak up all these fanboys' money so they can't buy the third party, right? You got MP44 and MP440, I think.
Yep.
And
so you're basically
and you
saying
got this.
everybody, they know that we have a purse, and in that purse we have a certain amount of money, and we're gonna be putting some figures out this year that's going to take that purse out.
So let me ask this, and I'm not an expert, and I'm not
It's a smart
playing
move.
devil's advocate, so to speak, but what was the other when Takara took that Unicron mold and did it a few years ago, right? Not the Amazon one, but there was one before that was like Takara Tomy.
It was
there
a
like
2000. It was a 2010 anniversary set. Yeah, that
So
went
wasn't there-
along with the Primus.
thank you. So can this get retooled into that Primus for Hasbro with some modifications?
Oh, probably.
I don't know their character well enough. It's a legit question, because if the crowds fund this, right, then can Hasbro? I was trying to think, really, what can they remold
Yeah.
it? Right?
But I
What can
think a Unicron is more popular than a Primus.
I don't disagree. I guess my point is, but the fans fund the overall molds, and then Hasbro
can put it out on retail and just do a Primus
or tweak it as a. I'm just saying,
and offer it for like $250.
I mean, it's possible. Like, I guess if the retooling is minimal, then basically the base product is there. And they probably could offer it cheaper because they already made the money on what they basically put in on all those original pieces. Dave, like, I get what you're saying though about that price correlation, size, what you're getting compared between the products, but I think that shit is hard to rationalize too, because I mean, look at like a Takara Tomy or a Hasbro, like a Metroplex or whatever, which is generations retail. Like that's it's big, but those figures are kind of like a little hollow. Engineering to me is not that crazy like the way an MP44 is, and it's still relatively expensive. Takara Tomy versions over $200 for things like that. Hasbro always like within the 160 range, like let's say, so I think that Unicron, that looks like it's gonna be high end. It doesn't, even though it's gonna look like it fits in with the Generations line and the War for Cybertron stuff, it looks like it's gonna be way more high end than what you got with the Trypticon, with the Metroplex, with the Ford Max. Just basically based off, they're saying over 50 points of articulation, like alone. And then who knows the gimmicks. I feel like they're going to give you the money's worth for that price tag because, it's only a few inches bigger than, whatever, 24 inches that the Fort Max and those other Titans are. But the price of it is a lot more. So I feel like they're going to give you a lot more. You know what I'm saying? And I think even just through the pics and the preview stuff, you could already see that. I think the paint and all that stuff is going to come and it'll be there, and possibly the electronics too.
And for me, I understand the paint. Like, I definitely, if you could, I think a lot of people are going to, trying to relate the sail barge with a big, like, with this in regards to paint. But you got to also remember the sail barge is not a transforming.
Yeah, it doesn't transform.
So if you're gonna offer a sail barge for $500, you better put some fucking paint on it because it's just fucking plastic. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna do that paint where it's gonna, bring it up and justify a $500 price mark. But here on this transformer, this figure, this item, you got a lot of moving parts. You got a lot of articulation in regards to what it's doing, and and they might not offer those additional paint apps and all that shit that you're going to be wanting in a paint perspective, because the money already was put in for all the other stuff, all the articulation, the joints and stuff like that they're doing. So, I like I said, I'm not going to be angry at them if they don't apply any more paint to what we see here. That's why that's why I got a friend named JD, or that I can put paint on the fucking thing if I want to. But like the thing is that I just think with what it looks like and what you're getting right now and what you're seeing is something that we always wanted in regards to a transformer. And now I'm not saying masterpiece. I'm just saying when you were a collector of a Chug and you've been a Chug collector since 2007 and you're collecting all those figures, the one thing that you would in the back of your mind was, oh, if I had a legit large size fucking goddamn Unicron, that would be cool. And that's they're giving it to us, and I see. Like, we talk a lot of MP here, but there is a lot of Transformers collectors that are still in that Chug line, that still like those Chug toys, and they're gonna pick this fucking thing up.
Yep, I agree with you, Dom. Do any of you guys think that, because I know just the fact that it's a crowdfund project, and that could get some people salty. Like, do you think that this is something that they just could have took a chance on and released at retail, even for that price tag? Because I think because that's something that you can't do, like, especially like with some of these major retailers, like no longer around, like at least here in the US. I think Toys R Us would have been a big distributor of a product like that. I don't think you're going to get that same type of display like at a Walmart.
Walmart would never make the shelf space for it. Yeah, never put a $500 toy on their shelves.
No,
I think when you tack on the pulse to it too, you're getting something that people actually took their time to give you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So you're getting something like they just said, a little more high end.
Mm-hmm.
So
now my question was, I don't know, was it free shipping for the
free?
The barge. I'm sorry. Was there free shipping when the barge was in that price of the barge? I know the barge was $500, but was that
$500? It was
$500?
another 100 on top of it to ship it.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think this is free shipping, or $575. So the $75 is shipping.
That's not bad.
I'm just saying, like, the $575 is with shipping, so it's like that $75 is shipping. So this thing is $500.
We've seen the creative way they can package these. Those. Remember, the U.S. Metroplex had like an arm disconnected. You know what I mean? So it fit in that box, and you had to, once you assembled it, it was like very different.
Mm-hmm. What do you think it's going to come in, the fucking the round fucking planet mode?
Yeah, that would be cost efficient, but I don't think they're.
I don't think it will. I think it'll be.
It will.
Robot
phone mode. Yeah.
I mean, you'll have to assemble it.
I think the wings will be disassembled, and I think it's just gonna. Like Gary said, it might have a leg disconnected from it, or the legs might, and the lower half might be disconnected just to save on space. But I don't know. Like at the end of the day, I don't know how this thing falls apart or connects and stuff.
Yeah, Lowell in the chat was saying that the shipping was included with the barge. So
was it?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like if it was, then then yeah, like you're getting like another $75 out of us. But I think that $75 is worth it in regards to this figure.
Right. So this thing's like what, 19 pounds or something like that?
Yep, 19.
How much does that cost to ship?
That's gonna be fucking.
That's crazy. A lot of money, dude.
Yeah. So basically, it's like, buy it now. Free shipping.
Limit 5 per transaction.
only Dom got that kind of purse.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm definitely gonna buy one. I'm on the fence on whether I'm gonna buy another one because it's just.
Me too. I'm on the fence, but I'm strongly considering it just because I know it would be an easy flip. And even if
if I didn't need it,
even if I didn't flip it, like I'd fucking probably love to have a figure like that, like in both modes, just because it looks impressive in both. But I mean, whatever. That second one would go easy. It would subsidize the cost of the one I keep. Honestly, I think that's how that thing is going to go. Now, when they usually do stuff like this, I mean, I guess the barge is the only thing we have to measure with. But do they also make production copies of this, or is it only for the people that back the project?
I'm pretty sure the barge, that was just for if you were in on the crowdfund, that was the only way you got it.
That's the only way.
They did afterwards. They did a small run for overseas customers
because on eBay, right?
Yeah, and they didn't, because they didn't offer it up for anyone outside of the U.S.
Yeah. Now, my question is whoever had the barge, if it came with a broken piece or something like that, I'm sure they have a couple, extras that can fill those, QC issue fulfillments.
No, it'll be the typical, you'll get something of equal or lesser value.
Send it back. We'll give you your money back. Yeah.
And
the old one back.
And BBTS, remember, they must have bought a bunch of them because they put them up for sale for
double, 1,200, I think.
1,200, something like that.
I mean, if they don't make extra, then that makes it an exclusive piece. I mean, only the people that backed it bought it. I mean, if there's extras being sold, it's because just people bought it for that reason. So, that if you don't go in on this and you want it later, you are going to pay more. You're not going to pay retail for what they're charging here. So,
as much as I have feelings about the process, I hope it works out, because if this does turn into a profitable venue for Hasbro, I mean, just imagine what we could see, right, with other lines if this continues this way.
Well, you see a Cookie Monster. That's what you're going to see.
Yeah, that's right.
So what's the over-under? You think this is going to fulfill, or the Cookie Monster?
Oh, well, the Cookie Monster thing is still out there. You know what? Honestly, dude, I'm not into, I used to watch Sesame Street back in the day. I'm sure there'll probably be enough people that love that will probably go into that. But what are they asking for Cookie Monsters? The numbers?
It's like $300.
$300. What does it do?
No. But the as far as how many people they need to back it.
It's I don't know. Brian can jump on the website, but I think it's like,
Was that a backer though, or was that just
it's a backer? It's a backer, dude.
I think he
has lab backer. Yeah.
I think you would have those that would pay a $300, because to me that's almost similar in vein to like buying a Hot Toys or something. Like if you want a definitive version of that, it's yours.
Yeah, it's
fully
a prop.
posable and shit,
Yeah, it's
right?
a fully posable
You
prop
can't eat
replica.
a cookie or nothing and shit it
No.
out. Nothing like that.
You
It's
could
just
better
like-
at least do
it's-
that for 300.
it's
Instead
like
of
a
even
legit-
swallow a
Saying,
cookie.
like, I want to stuff a cookie down his mouth or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like a legit prop replica of Cookie Monster.
The Cookie Monster is $300. Target 3,000. 240 people have gone in already. 40 days to go.
248. That's it.
It's about the same timeline as this Unicron, so it'd be
people-
interesting to see.
Well, you already see. I mean, look at how many people went in on the Unicron, and it's just a day. Like, so it looks like not as many people are interested in the blue guy there. You know?
Yep.
Sorry to say.
Hey, little PSA: the exclusives on Plan Steel Express go online at 9 a.m. Pacific time. So if you're on the East Coast, that's noon tomorrow.
Mythic Legions tomorrow, bro. Fuck that.
Yeah, that's at 9 p.m.
tomorrow night. I gotta stay.
We should do a hangout.
Yeah.
Brian,
Right.
we'll be on fucking figure bang.
Well, no, figure
Maybe
bang
not.
is 30 minutes later.
Uh,
And maybe not. Spoiler. All right, so I mean, me and Dom and Dave, I guess you're out. Gary, you're like, you're on the fence, but I think you're out. I think
I'm
you're
out.
right? Brian, what's up, dude? I didn't hear like a definitive answer from you. In, out?
If I don't get my eBay coupon by the time this thing goes up, I'm in. If my eBay coupon comes beforehand, I might be out.
He's already eyeing some stuff on eBay to use that coupon.
Yeah, man, my cart's full, baby. I'm getting that full $100 back.
Oh, Chuck said no mythics for him anymore. They turned into Unicron, so he set his priorities.
Drop them from the chat.
Yep.
Lost your membership.
And JD, you're out. You're not in on this.
I don't know.
You're gonna pass. You're gonna
I'd
wait.
like to,
You're
but I
gonna
mean,
wait till August. You're gonna wait till August 31st
yeah,
and be
I'll
that
wait
eight.
it out.
You're gonna be that 8,000 backer.
I gotta.
Well, like, I haven't bought it yet. Like, I'm waiting until the end so I can, like, buy some time. I'm putting this bad boy on a credit card. And
Yeah, I gotta see about selling a testicle or two.
Yeah.
It is a challenge, right? We always say that the FOMO is a real thing in the collecting world. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a few shifts of overtime. It'll be all right. That'll pay for that.
Yeah, I
good
don't.
way to think about it. Yep.
It's hard to pass, dude. This
I know,
is it,
dude.
man. This
yeah,
is
this
the
is the
Unicron.
fucking toy that you've been waiting for.
From '86.
This is why I can't be friends with you guys. I just said like fucking 10 minutes
Yeah.
ago. I'm
I don't
probably
want
not
it.
getting it. Now you guys got me thinking I should fucking get this thing
Yep.
regardless because it's fucking Unicron.
You
Dude,
can flip
it's
it, dude.
Unicron.
You know that if you
Because there's nowhere to put him. Where am I going to put that motherfucker? Right next to him?
dude,
I'm
Put
in
just,
the
put it by your lawnmower. That's
can I just say though, again, we've had this conversation. Go back to 2012 and MP Sideswipe, right? And what was he, 70? And the people who bought the first Quake Wave at 129 or 149, right, as their third party Shockwave, and we were like, oh my god, it's so much money, right? And buying the Hercules and the other stuff, and look how desensitized you are. Where suddenly you're like $600. Well, I could figure out a way to make it happen. I mean, that's crazy.
make it happen. You make it happen.
Yeah, dude, don't be stupid, people. If you want a fucking Unicron, buy it now because it's gonna fucking fly.
Dave, did you see that thing I posted in the chat today? I was reading a clickbait article. 50 ways you're throwing money away. One of them is not having a shopping accountability partner.
Yes.
Yeah, that's you.
No, we do just the opposite. That's the problem.
We're
Well,
not
Dave,
accountable.
Think about it, dude. If you go in, you could at least sell it for what you paid for it if you don't fucking want it.
Dude,
But
Dave,
but
you
that
can
shipping-
sell it for
but do it at
$1,500.
My luck, right? I'll wait till like August 20 something. I'll buy it. And I'll be like, guys, I fucking got it. And then fucking we'll be at Reston and fucking Fan Toys will be like, boom, baby.
No, they'll have a silhouette with a question mark.
Yeah.
Next to Primus or some shit.
Hey, but they've been following through with a lot of their fucking
But
shit.
Dave, how big would a masterpiece like? What? How like?
it's not
This
gonna
is-
happen.
Be the size of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, It'd be a full life size like replica, like
It would come in like 10. It would come in 10 parts.
Yeah, I wanted to people in the chat. If you're listening, who's in on this Unicron? Just chime in the chat. I want to know who's
definitely.
in. All right, so I mean, we'll see, man. I'm considering a second one. I really am that crazy. I'll do some OT and do it because I just know it will be easy flip. I could keep one and make somebody else happy.
Then you got to pay for it up front, right?
I only when it funds. So you got to the 31st. If it doesn't get back, then there's no harm. You could.
They're not going to charge your card, and if it funds, it's going to charge your card that night.
I just want to point out my birthday is coming up.
Yeah.
Everybody out there.
In a few days, nonetheless.
I'm going to start a GoFundMe right now for my Unicron.
Yeah.
Contribute.
Yeah, I'm going to start setting aside the money now for that because I don't want that to be on my CC for longer than a couple of days. So I'll just have the cash just to pay for it once it hits and get those points. Get
those frequent flyer miles with that.
Word. All right. So all right. Guys in the chat, I want to hear some answers. If you're in, you're in. Some are saying they're in, some undecided, last minute in.
Dude, all those undecideds are going to be fucking in the last day. They're going to be in. It's going to be like over 8,000. It's fully funded, and people are going to be like, boop, 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 boop.
Oh, Brammer saying tune in Friday for the answer. He wants ratings. All right.
He wants ratings.
All right. Good stuff, guys. All right. And then we did have some more screen share. I think, Brian, your screen went black.
Yeah, I think it's good now. I think
figured it out. All right. So we actually had an interesting little timeline as far as a certain third-party company. And Brian's going to present to everybody. I actually just let him roll with it. I'm going to pass the mic.
This is Dave's show. I'm just providing
okay. So Dave,
pictorial support.
Dave on the spot. I just came up with we were all here, okay? Hey, responsibilities over here, right?
I need to make a drink, so just take over.
Yeah. All right. So the idea here was there was a lot of reveals, obviously, this TFCon with Fans Toys, and they've been known to constantly just throw out renders, throw out pictures. Hey, we're doing this either first or doing it better, I like to say. And me and Brian came up with this concept where we're going through everything that they basically came out with and things that they either replaced and or are the only ones who have done it in a masterpiece fashion. So we're going to go through a bunch of slides and look at, basically the history of Fans Toys and whether or not we should all, myself, first off, whether I should just wait for them to do everything and not bother with anything else. So that's the basis of this conversation.
Yeah. So here we go. I prepared a little something for us. So here we go. Fans Toys. We're gonna go back in time.
Cue the music. How did we not have the back?
Wow, Brian, that's impressive.
Oh shit!
Oh my god, the trailer! We went that back, huh?
Yeah, here we are. So shout out to Antoine. I said, dude, I know that you have this, and he's like, I'll get it right to you. And he. So Third Party Unlimited, Antoine. He's got this down on lock here.
Wow, that's impressive.
Shout out to whoever has that MP11 trailer. Yeah. Those are the true Fan Toys fans.
Was that trailer? I never owned it. Was it better than the Masterpiece one, or was it just?
Nah,
it didn't open or nothing.
No.
Yeah. But pardon me. So basically, I just wanted to show everything. This is everything minus the repaints, basically. So I think this is even current up to this weekend. So it's pretty fantastic. Anybody know the number? No, Blitzwing is an old number. What's this number on Spindrift here? Is that, I can't read that. 45? 45, man. That's
What?
that's
They
wild
don't have
stuff.
that many.
How many? What's the car up to? 44? Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
holy shit. All right, Dave. So, I don't have comparisons for everything, but what do you want me to do? I got comparisons of things that are Fans Toys and things that we decided not to get because of Fans Toys, right?
Yeah, well, I just want, the guys, the panel, just to, say, hey, look, I stuck with Fans Toys or I didn't on this one, and why, shit like that. So,
All right.
mine is the Fans Toys.
Me too.
Yeah.
I never bought the MP.
I have Lavender Wave, but he's not displayed because he looks like shit.
Yeah,
Especially next to the Fans Toys.
I stuck with Fans Toys. I do have Lavender, but the Fans Toys is the one that I prefer over it. This is the only this is one of the few that that Fans Toys definitely beat out the official.
This was my first Fans Toys ever, so
Yeah, me too.
still holds up.
Yep.
Still a great fucking toy. So
I remember back when this came out, I had a Transformers pen pal basically through email that I met. That I bought something from him on eBay, and we were just doing kind of chug stuff, and we were trading emails, having a good time. He didn't have anyone to talk about this stuff too. I didn't have anyone to talk about this stuff too. But anyway, he's like, you know what, Brian? They're saying that Fans Toy Shockwave is MP scaled, and I was like, wait a minute, someone's making, because I was just buying Fans Project chug stuff,
Yep.
I was like, wait a minute, someone's going to make the big ones too, and I was like, I think I had one of those moments too where I missed out on it, so I went to some hole in the wall website and picked it up, kind of thing. But,
Yeah, that was my first purchase from Hanny in Agabus before I knew ROC, knew any of you guys. It was just me on my own. Same thing, discovering it through reviews and being realizing that was a masterpiece scale. And at the time, I think it was the second run, so it had gone to 149, and I just remember I couldn't believe I was about to spend $150 on a toy that was not any type of official.
Dude, we were all there, man. I remember my first toe dipping. I'm like, what the fuck am I'm paying this much for this? I'm bugging. But you get used to it. I mean, look at what the fuck we're doing now.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is a great comparison. I thought the Laser Wave looked great, but for me, when it came to Shockwave, I always pictured the more badass Marvel Comics version, than the kind of what we saw in the cartoon, who was more of a background player. So the Fans Toys always kind of spoke to me more, and I picked up that Quake Blast that was put out by that other company, which I also thought
Cloud9. That was a great figure, actually. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was
looked badass,
Yeah, it did. He looked very on the shelf. He looked really tough. All the
way on the right.
Yeah, that's the
Mm-hmm.
I like the legs better on that one.
Yeah.
Essentially, that figure is just a retool of the Fans Toys. That's all that is.
It's the same engineering. They remolded every single piece.
Yeah. That's all it is.
Yeah. But I remember when this came. I was at a BotCon when this came out, and this is actually BotCon was when BotCon was allowed to third party sales. So it was just this was something at when everybody saw it, it was wow, and it was flying off the shelves. And I was lucky. I remember I went to a room sale that somebody was selling it, and he had three left, and I literally had grabbed the last one that it was on three guys. Two other guys grabbed, and I grabbed the last one. I bought it, so it was one of the ones that got me into. This was one of the first full transforming robot third party toys. So,
well, it's also one of the first ones that there was an exclusive. I can't remember what Toy Dojo was called before. It was Ed Bomber's Toys.
Oh,
before Toy Dojo, and he had the gray version. Before,
the Radio Shack. Yep.
Yeah, but even before his website, Eddie's website changed over to Toy Dojo, he was had the very first kind of type of exclusive repaint for that.
If we're gonna go back in history, look at this old kind of thumbnail from Gene. This is old, man.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Going back.
Italian TF Club.
Back in time.
Buongiorno.
I mean, that's 7.5 years now.
And it speaks volumes because it's still that toy still stands up, dude.
It's still on my shelf.
It
Still
does.
stands up.
Actually, I have 3 versions of them.
Yeah.
Oh, you have the lollipop version?
And
Yeah.
unlike a lot of stuff we might talk about, I mean, good, bad, and different, you can still purchase one at a really good price, brand new. You know, they're still in stock in places, reissues and stuff.
That's because of the demand for it back then. They made so many more.
But I'm just saying, like, how, you know, there's not much else we'll probably talk about that you can still actually buy just like literally right now if you wanted one.
Yep.
All right. Shall we move forward?
Yes, please.
All right. So I don't have comparisons with the Gigas here, but I just wanted to have this slide here to be like, yeah, they made the dinos, right?
Yeah.
And
$1,000 bill right there.
They did, and it's still probably one of the most impressive sets I have, if not the most impressive set I have.
Yeah, you know, when you see them all together, like especially in Dino mode, it is impressive. I do have to say. Yep.
I wish I would have gotten the Perfect Fusion.
Yeah.
Flag,
We'll revisit that release here.
Okay.
Further on down the line.
But I remember that Scoria, man. That if you didn't jump on him right away, he sold out, and he was in big demand.
See, I feel like Scoria was around for a while, Dom. Like I really do.
No, it was for a short while, but then like after the next figure came out, it was just so hard to get, and he was demanding a very high price.
I just remember that first one was the one that came out in the plastic tray before they went to the styrofoam.
Yeah,
you know,
like
the inserts.
and you gotta remember, Scoria was also, they did a bunch of G2 repaint on them, and
I know they did a reissue before they did the Cesium or the Perfect Fusion stuff. I get it. I know. I remember.
So like I remember the one that everyone was going after was the official G1 color scheme, and it was I remember because I didn't buy it at first,
but his weak hips and robot mode, he was plagued with really, really, heavy feet, and
he came with the booties for Grimlock. I remember that.
Did anybody have the Gigapower ones or no?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I did too.
And I never got an opportunity to compare them. What do you think?
I personally, go ahead, JD. Go ahead.
The bot modes are bigger.
Agreed.
They're a little more stylized, but they feel a little more dynamic. As far as like the look in bot mode.
So if I told you had to get rid of a set, which one would you get rid of?
I'd tell you to go fuck yourself.
I think JD's right. The impressiveness of the size of the bots of the Gigapower are bigger. I think the Gigapower are probably the ones that had to improve as they released characters from their very first one, from their version of Snarl, where Fans Toys was far more consistent with every one of their Dino releases. But I will say, if you like the G1 feels, in my opinion, the Fans Toys Dinos, in Dino mode, just you can't compare the two.
Like Gigapower is such a good company too. Like not a lot of people know this, but I contacted them directly through Facebook for replacement parts. My Sludge, his fingers were fucked when I got him. Like, it ended up breaking. They sent me just all new hands. They were like, they already knew it was a problem, and they just sent them out. They gave me both hands. I only needed like 2 fingers, you know what I mean? And they sent me all that stuff. I like that. So I've gone with the metallic versions, and they come with a lot of extra.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
the metallic ones
like
are
flame effects and all that.
Yeah,
shit.
what people like.
Yeah.
The chrome, am I correct? Like, I think the chrome versions are like the metallic versions are the ones that sell out quickly first than the chrome versions.
To be fair, it was tough because the metallics didn't match. So their Snarl was more of a bronze versus gold, and their other releases were the metallics. It was more of a gold color. So I think that was a lot of complaints for people because they weren't as consistent, across the board.
Did they ever go back and reissue the other ones to make them more gold, or no?
No, they didn't change the colors, but they did reissue some of the metallic versions. But you're right, the metallic ones actually ended up selling out probably a little bit quicker compared to the chrome ones.
Anyway,
cool beans.
Cool.
If you ever come over, Dave, I'll let you play with them. They're fun.
Hey, Dave, I would keep my Fans Toys.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Hey, Brian,
I just like the robots because they're bigger than the Fans Toys.
Yeah,
You just like it bigger, don't you?
the robots, they have a very a very bodybuilder type physique in robot mode.
That's why Gary likes him.
Exactly. I pump
What
you up.
What happened?
Are we ready?
Yes.
Yep.
Sorry about that. I had to go pee. You guys talk too much. All right.
Got 'em.
Insecticons.
Oh, these bad boys.
You know,
Hey, did you go with gray or purple for
I went with
I went purple.
I did
went
gray when I had
did
them.
gray.
Yeah, I did gray too.
You know, it's funny how these are commanding such a aftermarket hubbaloo.
Yeah.
I happened to look here. Well, great. Now it's gone. Oh, there it comes. But there were re-releases of these guys, and I guess people are just like, you know, I'm not gonna worry about it. I think here's reissue of Shrapnel and stuff like that. And it's like, well, I'll get to Insecticons when I'm ready.
Alright.
I did
Actually,
guys when those were coming out. I think it's interesting how quickly we forget, just like anything else in social media or in the world, right? It's like what happened recently and you kind of just, it fades quickly, like whether it be a scandal or political story or real life events. But that Forager, man, if you remember, it came with like a special warning label about those wings and trying to transform it, you know, a special instruction sheet, and people were breaking it left and right, just trying to transform it once. Like that figure took a ton of criticism and flack, and now he's like one of the most expensive ones because he's so to get to, you know, finish the set.
Yeah.
Right.
Which ones
I
did
love
you guys
that
go with here?
I remember this battle, dude. This battle was tough. Like everyone was like,
Tough for me.
yeah, I know.
no, I went Fans Toys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went Fans Toys. I didn't go Bad Cube. I didn't.
I remember us all getting on Asian Kid Matt when
Yep.
he was trying to tell us on the
Cute
bad
bugs.
cube and tell us how good.
Bad Cube's and
Yeah.
the bomb still had that cool gimmick of changing color from bot to insect, you know, from
Yeah.
gray to purple.
That was pretty dope.
Yeah.
That was a nice aspect of those. Even though to me, like the look of them, you know, looked terrible. But oof.
Yeah, it's funny they're not showing it here, Gary. This is supposed to be gray. But,
Right.
But
Yeah.
I remember
Well,
the,
go ahead.
the transformation on this Forager, I think, was really, really cool, if I remember correctly. They had really neat transformations.
Well, what I'll just say is this: is I don't think I've seen anyone's Forager on display in bot mode where that chest piece stays clipped.
That's
You make
Mine's clipped.
it so true.
I'm just saying, right?
Mine worked.
I'm just saying. I feel like Dave's yours always was popping out. I know Dust,
Yeah.
like, you know, seen it at his house a few weeks ago. Just
Mine's fine.
just something to say.
I remember the story here with Mastermind. They were originally coming out as the remix, not
Yeah.
remix,
They're reformatted. Yeah.
reformatted. No, they ended up coming out reformatted, but they
Yeah.
were supposed to be the Ocular
Oh,
Max.
the Ocular Max. Yeah, you're right.
And they're like, oh, we can't compete, you know. So Fans Toys across the board.
Yeah, and the Mastermind Creations for the money wasn't a bad set.
No.
Especially when they got cheaper,
Especially when it went down to like what 100 for the
$100
three.
for 3. Yeah.
Mhm.
I remember this is before I even got into, like, I was debating on going with the Bad Cube, and then like all of a sudden, like I just last minute I just bought the Fans Toys, and I'm happy for it. But
So Bad Cube did do a clear set also for the people that liked the clear
yeah, the
colors.
toy, yeah.
Oh, it came. Oh, Bad Cube. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
meant
Version. Yeah.
Fans Toys because they come with both.
Yeah. I was gonna question you
The
guys.
whole figure, not
The whole figure was clear, not the chest.
yellow clear. Yeah, they had a completely transparent repack.
Which one? How do you guys display with the opaque or the translucent chests?
I do translucent.
I do paint.
I did the solid color.
Yeah.
All right. I know who my friends are. All right.
My friends.
Who's your friends, Brian?
What did you do, Ryan?
I did translucent, man.
Oh, I see.
I'm not a
Dave
friend.
Zipfin. You toys.
Yeah. And you know these are coming out right around the same time, if I remember, right?
Yes.
Yep.
See, this is interesting for me, right? Because I do own the Fans Toys, right?
Yep.
But I thought nobody can go wrong with any set that you bought of these.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. I think you're right on. There wasn't really a
Because
loser.
They all have their strengths and weaknesses, and I think that the Make toys are fucking great. The KFC ones were the last ones to come out.
And the KFC ones are big. They're actually like much bigger.
That's
box.
like I actually like the camera mode on the Make toys, and then the fans toys I like the robot mode.
Yes, you're right, Dom. Like I think the camera had gimmicks to it, like the buttons
Yeah,
worked.
it was a great camera mode for the Make toys.
Those Make toys heads are terrible to me though. They look
yeah. Like that's why I bought the fans toys, because I knew I was probably gonna have these bad boys in robot form, but but that camera mode for the Make toys was like.
But
really
this was
good.
another fans toys that I remember, again, like everyone, people transforming at once and then trying to transform it back and like damaging and stress.
Yeah,
these panels here.
Yep.
I tried to transform mine and I couldn't do it.
And the
they ate up my hands, man. My hands were killing me after I transformed these.
Wasn't that another example? Like we criticized Takara for the accessories from that one episode type nonsense, but yet didn't those fans toys have a million little like knives and stuff that everyone just left in the box?
Yeah.
Like, you never.
No, I actually used them a few times at the beginning, and that's what I was gonna bring up. Is I feel like the fan toys have so much personality. Like you look in their face, their faces, and they're animated.
They're all different. Yeah.
So he's pissed. He's got that little
smirk.
And
he's just
giggly in the corner.
It's like, leave me alone.
I will say the KFCs were a good value too, because that first issue a couple of years ago, I think they're coming back out again, but they were like cheap. If you remember, they were like $120, and the other two were.
Yep.
They came out so.
Next.
Oh, here we go.
Just move on.
I think I should talking about this, but
dude, I have the fans toys, but I also do have the Make toys. I have for both versions of the Make toys,
and I had the Make toys, but I flipped it, and I loved it when I did have it.
Yeah, it's a good figure. It's definitely, I wouldn't say it's Toon. If more Toonish in regards to what you're looking for, but with the fans toys, but it was like
the Make toy. You're right.
It was just a good figure.
It was all the way around. I thought it was just good.
Yep.
I got Willis.
I mean, I have Willis. We've already discussed the Takara one.
Yeah.
I think the Takara wins like overall look.
Yeah.
But we already know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
That one.
I think that's the only
got
detriment to it.
So
that's the only detriment to it, really. Like honestly, as far as I could see, like, because I just the way it looks, I'm like they nailed it. That's the Tomy one. Yep.
Yeah, dude. Like even down to like this, like here and here.
Yep.
Dude,
yeah.
I'm tempted to buy this just to fuck around with it, but I think I missed out on the pre-order. I don't know. I'm not paying US retail for that. No,
I jumped on it.
All right. So I'm sure, Dom, you're probably getting this.
Yes.
All right. But are you switching up?
No. I'm gonna my plan is that I'm gonna have alt modes. So like so what I'm doing is robot form. I'm gonna have a cartoon version, like a cartoon and then a toy, and then I'm just gonna, if I have alt mode, I can put one in alt mode. So.
What are you doing with this one?
Well, I just like Make toys, dude. I was a Make toys fanatic, so I had I bought Make toys from the beginning. So it's just like
I remember
gotten him.
The hands on this guy transformed is like this weird accordion thing. I remember that's kind of cool.
Like I literally bought the Make toys first. I didn't jump on the fans toys until later on, and actually got it right before it sold out. And I just really didn't I wasn't a fans toy or fan at that time.
All right.
Was fanboy.
Yeah.
What about this guy?
Yeah, he's beautiful.
What's that? The DX9?
DX9 over here. Yep.
Yeah, and
Sovereign on the side.
Sovereign was like amazing.
Did any of you like go with this first and then switch up later?
No.
Or
No, I went right for the fans toys.
But I don't think they're that far apart. Like from here.
What sold me was the feet. I really didn't like the feet on the DX9. Like I liked the feet of the fans toys. So
I'm with you, Dom. I remember
that's what sold me, because those feet on the DX9 are just fucking Look at those damn things. They look like.
But this guy has tap dance.
What about the build though? Did anybody play with this one to know how it felt in hand? And
I never played with the DX9 one.
Yeah. I remember when Brammer, it was one TF Con, I can't remember which one. He picked this one up, and he's like, "I want this. I want this. I want this." And then he went to, then he went to Jisk's house. He's like, "Oh, all right. I need this one now. I need this one now." I need this one. And let us not forget old Keith here. He's I guess he gave up.
Never did they name him Abandoned because they abandoned the fucking
Abaddon.
So yeah, man. But that was an interesting war. I mean, that was like, remember, same thing as the Apollyon Make Toys war with Megatron and all that stuff.
Yep.
Well, and that's another one, right? He was a pretty good value. He was like 120. The Fans Toys when he first came out, the very first, he was very relatively inexpensive.
Yeah.
And then they did 2 releases, and I feel like the retail went up like $30 or $40 on the second and third release before all the aftermarket.
You know, Gary. Just real quick, it's funny that you mentioned that because remember when the Dinos came out $200 a piece, right?
Yep.
Quake Wave had all of the aftermarket. You know, people think was super expensive. The Bugs probably. People might have thought they were kind of expensive for a bug that size. I can't speak to these, but Hound, I remember this price tag on him. I was like, it was just like $10 over an MP car, right?
Yeah, he was like 80 or 90, I think. Right?
And we started to see a change. Like, you know, remember when third party people were like, "Oh, it's all elitist crap. It's so expensive." But it turns out, I mean,
now it's the other way around.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. And here's a little comparison here for Grimlock. Well, this is way out of order. I don't know what's going on here. But no, I'm sorry. Grinder came out after Sovereign, right?
Yes.
Right.
So here he is next to the MP with no booties.
No booties.
And that
MP, that
MP, I think is still great.
I think it's a piece of shit. Fucking,
I mean,
I like
gimmicks.
aesthetically,
it's
great. Aesthetic, it looks a lot like.
If you don't touch it, it won't fall over.
And the Dino mode is nice on that one.
Yeah, the MP. I remember seeing the Toys R Us version like as a true surprise back before I was like reading online and new stuff was coming out.
The clear packaging.
Yep.
Clear
Seeing
packaging.
it on the shelf.
Yeah.
You're like, holy shit! Look at this G1 Grimlock in Dino mode, and just again, just discovering it was a fun memory I've ever seen.
I remember seeing them on clearance, and then 6 months later, price skyrocketed.
Dude, it was going for $300. That figure.
Exactly.
Dude, I think I paid like $250 for mine on Amazon. Dude, I might have paid over that. Oh, I don't remember. That's great.
Lowell saying MP Grimlock feels like a toy. Grinder feels like a masterpiece. Yeah, but when you didn't have that Grinder, that MP Grimlock was a pretty damn good masterpiece, right?
It was.
But wasn't
I have them both.
Yeah.
So was Grinder the first time that we saw Fans Toys make a change by offering that alternative head several months later?
Yes, because a lot of people were pissed on what the head looked like in robot mode. So, I mean, in Dino mode.
And I think there's another rumor like they were a little scared at Takara, right? Because this thing is almost transforms the same, almost looks exactly the same. They're like, well, if we change the head, it's not the same, So yeah. Hey,
Ayo.
Remember this now. So
you didn't put the new Siege one on there. No, I'm not even making fun. That shit looks pretty. That looks pretty good.
Shit is dope, man.
Yeah.
But we're comparing Masterpiece figures here.
Okay.
Right? So, and plus, this is a history. His history.
Yeah, Kronos, man. Kronos.
Yeah. So Kronos, right? FT10. An earlier number. They never even renumbered it, right? This was supposed to come out
way back,
way before, right? But here it was, the Kronos, right here. I never owned him.
It's not a fair comparison, Brian, because there's so much time like difference between these two. Like it's just.
But remember, though, he was fetching good money.
Yeah,
he was the only thing we had
one time, right? Something like that.
Yep. And some people shelled out that cash for it. And so when this thing finally comes out, they're like, well, maybe I should just keep this.
Yo, didn't somebody drive like fucking like 100 miles to pick one up and then didn't get it or something like that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. That was like in the cafe, I think, that story, if I remember correctly. But dude, so no one stayed with Kronos?
No.
I still have mine. I never got it. I never let it go.
I never opened it. Never took it out the box.
No, it's got it. It's out. I
Tom-
took that bad boy out of the
Like
box.
everything else.
Yeah.
I will admit, back in the day, I used to watch Optobotomus because his videos had like the clearest pictures,
They
right?
did. Yeah, he had good quality for sure.
And I remember watching him mess with this, and he broke the foot right there on the camera, and he was so dejected. I'll never forget that.
So I will say, for me, this was one of the kind of turning points where, like, a Fans Toys figure, where I think maybe my interests were a little different, because EE Prime has my Phoenix, because it was one of those characters, for whatever reason, once I had him out on the shelf, like, he just, like, I don't know, he was fine. It didn't get me as excited as a lot of the other figures started to do.
I have both. I'm keeping both.
I tell you.
That's it.
Damn.
I don't have the X version.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think it's necessary. I saw it at NJCC. Yeah. All right. First release of Sea Spray. This was his competition back then, right?
I did not get the. This is the first Fans Toys I did not get.
I bought it.
I did not
I
get
only
this
bought.
one.
I was hesitant on this one, but I bought it because I got it at a steal. So when I bought this Spindrift, it was maybe $40. when I
Oh,
got it. So
you talked to Hung. Yeah.
Sure
I think
did.
I got mine at. Yeah. Yeah, dude. So this was I think this was the only other one that came out. Like there were a couple others teased, but
Yeah.
Toy World's the one that came out.
Yep.
Gary's still waiting for his Ace one or whatever.
Trident.
Trident Day.
You mean this one?
I want that one so bad.
Dude, his head is so tiny.
Look at that, Gary.
Look at those propellers. That one had the dial that came with that spun the rotors, and his feet could be fat and chubby, or they could be like more streamlined. It was cool.
Oh, this.
How do you guys feel about them showing the new one?
Oh, we'll get there, Dave.
All right, we'll get there.
Hey, what's up next?
Oh God, Part A, Part B.
Ugh.
I think this is tough because I don't think you could go wrong with the Gabriel.
No,
I bought Gary's.
Yeah.
Gabriel.
When I was moving, I gave it to JD.
I was on the fence for either or, and I went with the Fans Toys, but I really like the Gabriel's legs for some reason. I just like his legs.
I kept seeing everybody having problems with the Fans Toys legs. Like Paul broke the knee, like he was folding everything up, and the knee snapped, and then other people were having the same problems. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not getting the Fans Toys because even like just seeing people transforming, I'm like, yeah, that doesn't look like that looks scary.
Yeah,
having to fold everything inside out the way that it transformed. I'm like,
can you still get the Gabriel? Is Gabriel available?
He got released about 2 months ago.
Oh wow.
I really like the Gabriel. I wish I would have gotten the.
Did they ever do him in?
Dude was doing the Autobot symbols for him. He was 3D.
Yeah.
I wish I would have gotten one of those for him, but it's fine.
And they go Wei Chang.
No.
Remember when people were holding out? It's like, Wei Chang's come out one. I'm skipping, and then this came out at like $150 or something. They're like, hey, I was expecting it to be like $60.
Right.
Oh man.
Did the DX9 ever do a Guardian version of their Gabriel?
I don't know.
Like a blue version? Because that's like I would definitely buy
No,
one
not
of the
Gabriel.
Guardians.
Yang had one, right? And then Fans Toys obviously had one. I think
I would love DX9 to do a Gabriel, like a Gabriel with a Guardian colors.
Guardian.
I just remember the Wei Zhang made like headlights and sound and stuff, didn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And Nick's correct me. The Wei Zhang was over $200. That's right. So
yeah, the Wei Zhang was like the same price as Gabriel.
Yep.
And wasn't this one where the Fans Toys knocked down the price because of it?
Yeah. Dude, you're right.
Yeah, that was.
It was like $200 more than everybody else.
Yep.
Like $300 more than everybody else, and they knocked it down.
Dude. And remember when that news dropped? Was that Reston? That was Reston.
It was, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was wild
Yeah.
stuff.
And then that was a whole debate on how much margin or how much
Yeah.
margin they have on these things.
And remember, they had that's when they had the silhouette of Devastator with the question mark.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, and then here, Perfect Fusion, they
Ooh.
basically remake Slag. So here's our comparison, and the JD, you said you never traded up, huh?
No, I never got the.
Yeah, and this is what I was pissed because I paid secondary market for the Scoria, and when this was announced, I was like, "Fuck! I should have never bought. I should have never paid for the Scoria." So this is a lesson learned, and at the end of the day, it happens.
JD, what's your opinion on the Gigasaurus version? Because I felt like this was probably one of their weakest offerings in terms of like just overall feel compared to like the Gigasaurs, Gigapowers like Sludge or even their Snarl. He just seemed more fragile to me than their other ones.
I mean, I'm okay with him. Like I'll get him down every now and again and mess with him. I don't like sit and transform him back and forth, but like
Dude, that fucking thing's eating his
Slag's
wings.
one of my favorite. You know, aside from Grimlock, he's like
he's
one of my other
favorite. Yep.
Dinobots. But I love the way the Giga Power one looks. Like
fuck swoop,
so,
right? JD, fuck
he's
swoop.
so menacing.
Yeah.
Slag.
No, I won't fuck swoop. So sorry.
So this is the first time they pull one of these on us, right? It's like we're gonna remake it. And they dropped it under that different name. The price point was a little bit lower, less diecast, less paint type stuff. But I think with this being their first, maybe they're like, it's time for us. Maybe they weren't satisfied with this.
Right.
Yeah.
I could appreciate that though. You take
Look at the
take
hips.
it back. We start all over.
That's fine, but that title, right? Remember, because the Cyclonus was originally supposed to be released under that same banner, right?
Yes.
And they realized that it was almost too much like brand confusion.
Yeah. Oh, this guy hasn't even come out yet. So what's the question here? Who is still waiting?
I am.
I picked up the X Transbot.
I did Bad Cube.
I had the Bad Cube also.
I'm still waiting.
The Bad Cube had the coolest, most accurate Toyota 4x4 truck mode, I thought. But what? So funny.
I love when you do the whole car thing.
No, it's true, but it was one of the most unfun transformations.
Unfun.
I didn't think it was that bad.
That X Transbot one is not that bad, dude.
When I transformed that Bad Cube, I had to do the same thing. I was watching 3 different videos, and there was some part with the windows, and that was when my wife finally pulled me aside, and she's like, "Gary, like I thought have fun with this stuff." She's like, "You are so stressed and so worked up," and I kind of snapped at her. I'm like, "You don't understand, Christina." I'm like, "I don't want to break this. It's a lot of money."
He was ready to give it a backhand.
Like,
I'm only catch himself.
Yeah, Gary. The one thing I remember checking out was because, I don't think he was even announced yet, but I was like, this gap in the chest by the windows, how far did this jut out? And I was looking at all these different angles between the X Transbots, him and him. But then there was there was this YouTube video that was all in Chinese. You couldn't even understand it, but when he started exploding that thing, I was like, "That's it, I'm out."
Yeah. I'm out.
He's in robot mode. It wasn't fun to pose him. Yeah,
I learned my lesson with the tank guy.
Oh, Warpath.
Yeah.
Warpath. Yeah.
If you look at the cap on the truck for Bad Cube, I think it really is the most realistic to the cartoon, to the way he was drawn, and very reminiscent of a early '80s fiberglass cap that you would have found on a mini truck like that. It's really accurate.
Paint I really good on it too.
I liked it a lot too. I really liked the way this one looked in alt mode as well. Too bad the back was all messed up. Remember?
Yeah. And those side steps I hated on the Mastermind. Those little side rails there. Yeah, they didn't really fit the truck, I thought.
Gotcha.
So Brian, you said you waited too?
I'm waiting for a Trailbreaker.
Now, X Transbots came with the best accessories, though, right? Didn't he come with the campfire and all that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got him. I got him, and for the X Transbot, then I got the hoist.
So, but Dom, let me ask you a question, right? If Fans Toys tomorrow. Oh, at Reston said that they're gonna finally come out with this.
Yeah.
Would you swap out?
Yeah, I would buy the fans toys. I'm not going to swap out. I'll just buy the fans toys.
Yeah. I remember, was it Jay Ruse? Someone had, I think it was Jay Ruse at the time,
Yeah.
bought the X-Trans bots.
Yeah, you got it right.
And he had it, and it already, like, Red Fox had, like, a wonky arm. Again.
Yep.
I would just basically just keep the X-Trans battle in alt mode, and that's it.
Oh, the cupboard.
Oh my
That's what we
god.
should-
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ, that shit shouldn't even be in contention.
Dude, I think I heard Brammer throw up in his mouth on the internet. This was Masterpiece Shippies right here for sure.
Mhm.
Oh
But,
my god.
yeah.
That should be the mascot. That should be the mascot for the show. Get on that, Nick.
And the X-Trans box came out, right?
Never came out.
Never came
Never
out.
came out.
Why not?
He's like, fuck toy world.
Yo, Coop. Yo, Coop.
Oh man. So no contest here. Yeah. This thing
Yeah.
never even came out, and yeah, no one's getting
Yeah, Jeremy's like, it's so bad. Jeremy said in the chat, it's so bad.
I remember when they were showing him, they had his legs turned around by accident a lot, and they had like this little. They had his heels as his feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck were they thinking with that?
Ah,
one, bro? Like, that's just like, wow. Ooh, Spring Awards.
This is a good one. That's a good one.
Look at how many of these guys came out.
Yeah.
They all dropped too.
I
This is-
just bought the fans toys. I didn't even fool around with all this shit.
Yeah.
I'm not playing this game.
Yeah, always heard great things about the unique toys. I've seen it in person a couple of times, but it always looked toyish, not like a masterpiece, right?
But look at that build. I mean, the robot, it is like a menace. I mean, if it had been painted in a different shade of green, like the physical proportions is very, very like empowering to me. You know what I mean? Like I thought it was great.
I have both the unique toys and the fans toys.
So I had fans toys, and it was again kind of like the Phoenix for me. He didn't do anything for me. I didn't like the shoulders, and he didn't seem very fun to pose. I never bothered to try to transform him. And I just recently got the MMC one, and it's probably one of my favorite toys in my collection right now. I love it. I love the MMC one.
Yeah,
It's great.
The Saltus, honestly, in my opinion, like when I first saw it, I'm like, it looks a little off to me, but it does look like a nice figure to mess with. To actually like pose and fuck around with.
That's it, Jose. For me, it's if you like, I think the bots just treat him like an action figure versus the transforming back and forth. He's great. Like, I really like him a lot.
I wouldn't mind picking that up. The Ocular Max.
Yeah, and he's got a harpoon for crying out loud.
Yeah.
And again, X-Transbots didn't come out with theirs either.
Yep.
Oh no, yeah, this one never dropped.
Never came out.
Man.
Yeah.
I mean,
I-
people like to shit on fans toys and say, "Oh, you like to show pictures of stuff and not come out with it," but they're following through with more stuff than other people are. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you, Jose, because I think you had both. Did you have that open and play?
I did. I didn't own it long enough to really like mess with it, but I didn't think it looked that bad.
Oh, so my question is, if that's like $40 to $45 on BBTS, and the Siege Springer is $30, like, what would you recommend for in that similar price range?
I mean, man, when the price is so close, I would say, get the open and play. But I mean, it really is for different collectors. I mean, you can see the open and play is trying to go more towards that masterpiece aesthetic where, the Siege Springer is chug like all the way. And it's a great
box with it.
Yeah, and it's a great piece as well. Like, I think they did a really good job on that figure on the Siege line. But, I mean, it's almost hard to compare. I would say, I mean, shit, for 10 more bucks, buy this one. But that's not going to fit in with your Siege stuff.
Yeah, no, I get it. That makes sense. I just
Yeah.
because I feel like the open and play one, wasn't it closer to like 80 or 90 when it very first came out?
I think it was like about an $80 retail.
Yeah, you got that on a trade at NJCC. You sold something and ended up with that thing on.
Yeah, I traded it. I traded it with Bobby. Bobby bought. I actually
That's right.
traded him my No, it wasn't a Fig Arts. It was a Play Arts Kai Green Lantern, one of the DC like alternates, like the anime style figures that they were putting out. I think that was like the last one he needed to complete like his Justice League. And I wanted to check out the Springer, so I'm like, I'll do the trade with you, and he was like, whatever. And then so I checked out the figure, and I think I wound up selling it a little bit later on in the day.
You did it. The same day it was gone.
Quick flip.
I want Gary to hang out with me so he can recount my life for me that I
don't. Just make it interesting for him. That's it.
Yeah, right.
All right, I got RC.
I don't like this because the Ocular Max is not really a great picture. It doesn't do it any justice.
Yeah. I've seen other pics of that figure where it looks really good, and I mean the toy world is out. Like that Leia is like, what are you doing? But I mean the Ocular Max one looks really good, and I mean, and the Fans Toys is pretty spot on too.
Yeah, this Leia actually looked pretty good in bot mode, if I remember correctly.
I thought so too.
Yeah, it's got the ab different thing there, and
it wins for the name. That's about it.
What sold me on the Ocular Max was when we were at one of the Toy Cons, and Dave was carrying the Shadow version from Rustin in his pocket, and he's like, we're at the table at Buffalo Wild Wings, and he pulls it out of his pocket, and he's like, "Oh, it's my travel toy."
Temporarily, I broke it.
So here we have a Digibash prototype, and one of the things that I really like that Ocular Max did here is you see where the mushroom peg is here for the Fans Toys. Ocular Max, they put inserts in here to fix that aesthetic, which I think is fantastic that they did that.
Like all the way down the arms on the Fans Toys, you can see those.
Yeah.
And I think the Ocular Max one has a little bit more playability to it too, like right, just like the Springer, like a little bit more articulated, easier to manipulate and handle. You don't have to worry about breaking it or whatever. So
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, I went with Springer and this Fans Toys RC because I got the cup. I mean, I was like, I might as well get the set.
I mean, I have like you guys said, I have the stealth version, but the sculpt it just doesn't fit with the Masterpiece stuff. I mean, it's a great toy, and like Jose said, the posability of it is insane, but it's just doesn't fit. So
it's real quick. It's funny that you say, yeah, Dave. It's funny that you say that it doesn't fit with the Masterpiece stuff. What you mean to say is it doesn't fit with the other Fans Toys stuff because I think my whole 86 shelf is Fans Toys at this point.
Right. I mean, so since I wasn't doing the whole shelf, like I'm excited because I'm getting, Gort got me the Medic version we were talking about earlier, and since I like the Salsa so much, I think it'll fit together like the two of them. But I think you guys are right. If I wanted to do the rest of the movie cast, it'd probably look a little out of place.
Mm-hmm. But MFC's catching up. They did put the Springer out. All right. Then we had the Cyclonus Wars.
Cyclonus Wars.
I went both.
Yep.
Elagos for its time was fucking sick. Was amazing. I think Fans Toys wins overall with the paint.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard for me not to buy that Elagos, and I didn't. I held off, and I was waiting for Fans Toys, and I just like the aesthetics and everything, the sculpt of it, and so but it was hard. Believe me, there was nights where I was ready to pull that trigger on the Elagos.
Was it?
I like the Scourge with it too, and it looked really nice.
I don't think you lose really. Seeing them both like literally side by side at Dust's house, I don't think you can really go wrong with either one.
And Gort's like, "Where's Tempest?"
Yeah.
You know what though? Didn't you like flip the Elagos real quick, Gary? Didn't you?
I did. Yeah. You know what it was? It was the same thing. I honestly, I've admitted I don't transform my stuff when I own it very often. Usually not more than maybe once, right? To bot mode. I do like. I don't do pictures, but I like changing the display a lot and reposing them. And Elagos to me, when he was standing, looked fine, but I felt like he just seemed too. That X-Trans bots at the time, build control or quality control and the build quality. Just felt like it wasn't very confidence inspiring, and I was almost like more afraid to manipulate it too much and try and do pieces seem to always be kind of sliding away and stuff like that. So I flipped them pretty quick.
Yeah, I also feel like he sort of looks in the same pocket as that Springer, that toy looking Springer. Like he just didn't see looked really good as far as his aesthetics, but something about it just didn't scream like it was a masterpiece to me. So
I mean, when you compare it to the animation, right? He's like a sleek character, you know, and Elagos
Yeah.
is too sleek looking. You know what I mean?
Well, it just seemed like the movie character was like kind of badass, but you're right, his physical like look was like sleeker.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like you can the cartoon he can get into skinny pants, and Elagos you can't get him into skinny pants.
I will admit that I don't know if anybody else, but I did pre-order the FT29 toy with the pink hues in it because I did kind of like that look on the Elagos, that like little.
And then you'll flip that too.
Elagos
Gary's got to pay for that Unicron.
looks like
Everything.
he looks like he went in a little bit at the buffet table, you know, like he's
Yeah.
a little extra. He went a little extra.
Yeah, a little extra. He has a little extra on him, you know?
He hasn't leaned out for his show just yet. He's still.
This
It's
is
like
the time when
like
he was depressed because Galvatron, was really liking him, and he was going into the John cabinet a little bit too much.
All this guy needs all this guy needs is a hammer in this hand and an axe in this hand and a beard.
There you go. Yes, yeah.
I think
Fat
Rock.
Thor.
I think Rocket's line from Infinity War fits. Like, who are you kidding? You're just one sandwich away from
Right.
Get a Bowflex. All right. Then we had Hydra and Hanzo.
Oh no, JD, ready?
Oh yeah.
Hanzo, Hattori Hanzo.
Sure they
Isn't
got
it? We're missing one, aren't we?
Yeah, that
Uh,
was,
G creation, but that's more
Yeah.
Creations,
W.
yeah.
but it
Yeah,
was
that
more
didn't really
anime.
fit.
This is the second
It's still
Fans toys I
massive
haven't
size,
bought.
though.
So
You
We don't
haven't
have
bought this stuff?
No, I haven't. And it's still available if you find it's like, it's the one that I said, you know what, I'm going to pass on it.
The Hydra is still available,
Yeah,
or the
it's still,
Hanzo?
the
Hydra's still
Hydra
out
is
there?
still available. Yeah.
Do you think maybe
It's the
'cause
one.
It's
It's
the
the one
Japanese.
Fans toys that's still available after 6 months.
Do you think that's happening because it's that like Japanese era that we didn't really get to see
No,
much of,
it's
and
Piece
people
of
don't have the
fucking hollow
connection?
shit.
I
No,
know.
it's
I know.
'cause JD
JD's
killed
answer
it.
is JD.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Hollow.
The 150 of them that are fucking out there, the 150 people that watch this show.
JD went on
right now.
Yelp and he just said, "Don't buy this fucking shit."
Do nothing.
Yeah,
All
this
right.
is this. I don't know. I'm waiting. I guess I'm waiting or seeing if I can get Hydra on a low. Like JD, didn't you win
Hail
this?
Hydra! Hail Hydra!
Didn't
Hail
you
Hydra!
win this at NJCC? He did. This one, he won a second one.
He's got two pieces of shit, and he didn't want one.
Do you guys remember when the DX9 was released? Everyone was questioning what color blue that was on the chest. If it was like
Teal,
blue or
teal.
green, right? Blue or green, and then it turned out basically they were like, oh, it's the camera, it's this, it's that, and then basically they had both versions out there in prototypes, and they were sending each one out for reviews, and then they released it in the other color a little bit later.
Yeah.
So-
All right.
Hoodlum.
Hoodlum. Who traded up?
I did.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah,
Me
me
too.
too.
Come
I
on, you
literally
can't beat
took
the masterpiece. You can't beat the masterpiece.
one and I tossed it to the side.
Ah, boo.
I bought this thing 3 times and sold it 3 times. And I think the last 2 I sold, I never even broke the tape on them. I was just because I bought that one with the different color scheme and stuff. I was like, this thing. I had a love-hate relationship with this.
You really did. I remember your ETR, Brian, when you bought the last one. You're like, oh, I got the last one from Ami Ami or whatever import site you did, and then you took it to like 2 NJCCs before you sold it.
Third time's the charm.
I mean,
And it was
Hoodlum
sealed.
was far from perfect, but it just has more presence on the
Yes.
shelf.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah, this thing when this thing couldn't roll freely without scraping the bottom, I was just like, screw this.
Or buying repro labels that gave the wheels treads.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. Oh, and then we had the Phoenix X. Anybody trade up?
Nope.
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 Why? All you needed was some clear nail polish.
You know, polish, right?
Little Dabaduya.
You know, it's interesting. When we looked at Maverick last night on ETR, it looks like he's going to have that pearlescent paint. So I'll finally be able to like compare them. I think to see what that goes really like. All right, moving on. Motormaster. Well, Is anybody waiting
We only
for
have one.
X-Transbots or DX9?
No.
Nope.
I mean, I have the other X-Transbots ones.
Yeah, I still think it's pretty interesting that you got like these three companies. These three companies. I mean, X Transbots. They got the limbs out. We haven't seen Motormaster yet, but just the fact that we got three companies tackling the same thing, same time.
Can I just say that the pictures with like the Fans Toys Motormaster and the 4 X Transbots, little ones, just does not look good together. Like they really don't fit.
Wow, Gary, I think you're in
They're
the
too
minority
small.
there.
I mean, they are
Yeah.
small compared
Yeah.
to the Road King. But I mean, there's no other way to do it. That's
I mean, people are just impatient. Like I get it, I mean, to put the team together, but it's not like the real team. I mean, I don't know. It's like,
yeah. Listen, I can't fault those for not wanting to wait. Like I remember when MMC was putting out the Ferrocons and shit. Like I remember they put out the torso and the 2 legs, and I put that motherfucker together of the combiner.
Left it laying down.
those 2 arms. It was like torture. Those fucking last 6 months waiting for that.
Oh man. So
Yeah, I was going to wait on the Road King, but my friends came to my rescue and said buy the shit, and I did. I did.
I'm not.
I need Handy to come to the rescue so I can finish fixing mine.
need those screws.
Yeah, like the last 3 Fans Toys releases, I had problems with,
Let's go to the
and I'm waiting for all these things to be fixed from. He said he'd help me out.
Hey, these things take time.
Look at that DX9 Ferrari though.
You like?
Yo, the alt modes though.
Dude.
Looks just like the one next to it.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's exactly the same, dude.
I agree with Dave. I agree with Dave, dude.
No.
What Gary's looking at.
Gary's just justifying his purchase. That's all.
Dude, the next one looks shinier, dude.
Mine is better.
Gary,
You're
fucking Hot Wheels.
Look at the wheels; they look more accurate than
The one
the
I
next
bought
one.
is better. The one
What's
I
wrong
bought
with
is
you?
better, and that's it. All right.
I didn't say it was better. I just said look at the amazing alt mode on the DX9.
Sorry. So people
I'm
waiting.
I'm waiting.
I have
I'm wait-
Transbots and I'm waiting.
I'm waiting, but the X-Trans. Yeah, I bought this from X-Trans.
Same here.
Yeah, I bought the first one because
I only
it was
got the
cheap.
crackdown. It was $40.
Yeah.
That's an easy investment.
Yeah.
I could wait on the rest of them.
So
I mean, I got
tempted
that
though on these.
This one is just. I think it's the animation and color choices were just silly, and it just doesn't show well on the car.
Yeah. Honestly, though, I feel like the X Transbots is the best looking one.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the others might have that sizing right. Like, I don't know. There's something about just having that little bit of a bigger figure. Like, I always felt like those cars are too small. Like, even Masterpiece and what X Transbots is doing.
And I agree with you, Jose. That's what kind of made me switch because I did buy the X Transbot on this one, and then when I saw the DX size, how big it was, how big they were in robot form, I liked that. I liked that out of them. And I'm like, oh fuck, what am I gonna do? And then all of a sudden, when F Fans Toys announced that they were doing it and said that they were gonna be big but fit in auto, in robot in vehicle mode, be the same size as that MP car, then I was like, I was all in.
I think the best things X Transbots did was just give you value for your money for the set.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, because wasn't this one the one that they knocked off? Somebody
KO,
knocked
yep.
off. Yeah.
Like, they were beating them to the punch for sure.
That KO never came out, did it?
No, never did.
And to their credit, they're also the first ones to crank out all 4 limbs and get the G2 colors.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. I'm sorry. I never liked this. I know this was a real life prototype race car with the dual wheels up front, so it actually was in existence. What's so funny?
Gary's like, I'm not doing no concept.
No, but it just even as a kid, I thought it was stupid.
Is this street legal?
It's like, fuck you.
You know who would drive this car?
I'm just trying.
Hobbs would definitely drive this.
August 2nd, by the way.
I mean, the X Transbots looks good, but look how clean the fucking Fans Toys
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Like
nice.
the innards and stuff like that. Look at the inside of the legs and shit.
Yeah, the Fans Toys definitely looks the best.
And last night, Chris said something on ETR. He was like, with the little guy in the car. He's like, "What the fuck is that?" I agree. I'm like, "What the fuck is it?" Like? I don't know. It's just stupid.
It's supposed to be a hologram, but I get it.
Yeah,
It's all right. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
They don't
Gary
put-
in
they
there.
don't
It's
put
Gary
little
in that
dudes
helmet.
they don't put little dudes in all the rest of the cars.
He's not
Yeah,
pink enough.
exactly.
Not pink enough to be
But
Gary.
didn't MMC offer do a hologram figure that they could put into Mirage, right? Didn't they offer a hologram figure?
I'm sure.
did they?
Yeah. Was it them or was DX9 one that they put? Somebody did. I know one did.
So Menasor
Nobody
Waiting,
knows.
waiting.
Well, I'm gonna get the Fans Toys, but I'm waiting for the Fans Toys.
Dude, I'm getting these Fans Toys, Aerobots, and Stunticons, and I don't even have a place to combine them. They're just gonna be teams. I don't know. Gonna be in the minority. Moving on to Aerial Bots. Speaking of which, who got Zeta?
I got
Me.
Zeta
I owned one briefly for about 5 minutes.
for like 5 seconds.
I tried to punt it off on Dave, and he wouldn't take it.
No, it's funny,
Yeah.
but now I have it.
Did you?
I decided to wait it out.
Oh man, this was the figure that I mean Gary couldn't hide his disappointment.
Oh, dude, it's,
We have it on videotape.
that was so. You talk about like spontaneous. That was dust. Like he got 2 duplicates of the same one. I was like, oh, it's so cheap. I'm like, I'll check it out. And then as soon as I opened, I'm like, yeah, it's not for me.
yeah, right out the box.
Yeah.
Fucking instant disappointment.
So I traded it to Gort for Mythic Legions from the show. So
And to me, that's the most incredible fucking flip ever. That should change hands twice in the span of a fucking hour.
I mean, it ended up costing me like a $70 Mythic Legions, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We're putting out the universe for the collecting what happens in the world.
So I don't think I have any other aerial bots, but then here we have Maverick is just dropping now for people.
This is interesting because it's very close. Like it's
I've seen a lot of people talk about this like this week, and I think Sam probably put it best, like the way he described it when he got his, and he's pretty honest with his his reviews on stuff. And I can't wait to get it. Like I know that the Zeta looks good, but you can't compare it to the Fans Toys. Like it's just it's from here. It's on a screen and it's shining.
So
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I looked at that cartoon render, and all I hear is his freaking whiny voice, and that he was like afraid to go high.
heights. He's afraid of heights.
And,
Fucking plane.
on Cybertron, I was a low-flying blah 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 cargo ship or something ridiculous, and I was like, "What to see?" Like, it's not cool.
I'm definitely gonna pick him up, but it's just like it's gonna be like I don't know. I'd be interested to see how the stability of both Menasor and Superion is going to be for Fans Toys.
I'll just say cars greater than planes any day. So I'm out. I'm
Planes
both.
beat.
Dude, I gotta admit, looking at this picture, they both look great.
yeah,
They do. They do. It's like it's very hard, but like you know what? Fuck it. Overtime. Get both.
So yeah, I mean, people like to collect, the team and the combiner.
Yeah.
And,
Can't do any wrong if you get both and do that. Have one in the combine and have the team right next on the bottom.
Dust had the Zeta, as a team mode when I was at his place, and it looked pretty cool all together. I will admit, they had even the Zeta had a really good individual presence as a group.
But once again, I mean, I was so for me on these combiners, if I was going in, shame on me once with Toy World, right? Fucking wait for the gift set. So I waited for the gift set for Zeta, and before that happened, Fans Toys announced. I was like, "Oh, sorry, Zeta. I guess sorry, I'm not getting it."
Yeah, I wouldn't manage. I wouldn't think that the Zeta will sell out anytime soon. So
Well, they did though.
They are.
They did.
Oh, they did.
They're sold out, dude.
The first, the Superion is sold out.
Yeah.
Some of the limbs are, yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
They reissued some of them. They came out with different shipments and stuff, but it's
Yeah, but Zeta's going to
They reissued the first 2 when the last 3 came out.
yeah.
Yeah, but
And
I'm
then
just
they're
saying.
sold out now.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like Zato's going to reissue it continuously. I don't think if that set. I think there's a whole set that's pre-ordered that you can buy right now, right? Where you can get the whole all five of them.
I know for Bruticus you can.
Well, they just dropped
I thought I saw something.
Yeah, they just dropped that
source.
other.
I mean, it
color
could be one of the retailers just saying, "Hey, here's the whole set."
Right.
You know what I mean? But if they it's probably not a gift set. They just
No. Yeah, it's just
them all
here's the whole
together.
set. Yeah, and it's a pre-order right now.
Yeah, because at this point, why would they sell them individually? They'll be stuck with them, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And here comes the bullying of Keith, right? Who's switching up?
Probably
Dave's not here, man. Dave's
Everybody's fucking switching.
Yeah,
up.
I'm switching
Come
up.
on, everybody's switching up.
Dude, he was a hippie.
Look at that back. Look at that back. Look at that
So
clean back. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta admit, that Arcos, when I took it to NJCC last show, I second guessed. I put it in and out of the tote 3 times. So I was like, I like it. I like it. And you know,
the only thing is if that Fans Toys doesn't have a golden hand accessory, that's it. Instant fail.
Come with the little birds.
Yeah, that was the cool thing about Arcos, like coming with those things.
Yep. All right, who switched up?
Blam! Pow!
Dude, I have the Bad Toys veteran, which is Dude, I can't get these fucking names. Come on, dude.
That's number 6 tonight.
Yeah.
Lazy BX Trans Battles.
Dude, I'm telling you, Vic, I'm making new names. Dude, if another company uses one of my made up names, I'm gonna fucking get mad.
It's the Bad Toys Constructabox.
Dude, don't get Bad Toys, yo. But I got the back cube, the one that they did like an old the weathered version. Yeah, I like that version.
I'm switching out. And whoever buys that bad cube for me, I'm not transforming it.
You have it in robot?
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have not put him in the box yet, and I don't want to transform him, but this guy had the mass shifting, the bad cube.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. I don't know.
I'm gonna keep mine, but like I definitely will go with the Fans Toys. So that looks so good, dude. I don't know what the fuck Final Victory. Get that fucking shit out of here.
Yeah, this is a nice heroic representation of Warpath.
I was about to say that he does look heroic because he didn't seem to be that slim and good looking in the cartoon. So,
his cartoon looked like his G1 toy mini bot, man.
But I don't mind that, man. Like I don't mind them taking like little liberties to make the figure look better, because you know what, if you go strictly by the animation model, some of those characters didn't look good. Like come on,
they didn't.
You
know. Moving on to Braun.
Yeah, that Fans Toys looks great.
Yeah,
out here too.
Hell yeah.
The color is off. No, I'm just
pink.
I like this bad cube alt mode better. I think this was cool when I saw this as actual Land Rover.
Yeah.
It's fucking sick that they did that. But
whoever picked the rim style for the Final Victory one was having a fun day. It was so crazy. I know we've talked about it many times, but still.
Yeah, the Zeta Superion is still in stock. It's 404 at TF Source.
I think that's another good question. Throw it out to the chat squad, to the people watching. Like, what do you think? Like, are you okay when Fans Toys or maybe some of these other companies that do masterpiece scale figures? Do you mind if they take liberties and to make the figure look a little bit better than the cartoon model? Like, or would you rather it just be straight to the tune? So, let's hear your answers in the chat.
Yeah, but like, just to give Bad Cube like it's been so much time between.
Bad Toys, you mean?
Yeah, Bad Toys. Like between the two, so it's like it's got a place in anybody's collection if somebody decides to, like, you know what, I'm going to keep this and this is my Braun.
Yeah, this thing was kind of expensive too, if I remember.
It went up in price. Like the secondary market went crazy.
I have both of them.
Mm.
The first version and the second one.
Did you?
Yeah, Android doesn't.
Was there any like improvements, QC improvements on
the knees are ratcheted. The colors, they changed the colors a little bit, so it's more.
Yeah, because there was a paint issue.
Oranger.
Oh no, that was the
No,
Huffer.
there
I'm
was
sorry.
there wasn't any.
Yeah, Huffer was the paint issue.
Yeah. I mean, they, like I said, they just added some ratchets here and there and just improved on the color. The original version, you had to buy the like if it was like a pre-order bonus or whatever, you got
the little weapons kit. Yeah.
Oh, you had to buy the set of him and Outbook, I think.
Yeah. But with the re-release, that all that stuff came with it.
Pretty cool.
Bastards. Where's Dave?
Yeah.
Right.
But like the color, like I was watching at last night's show, and the teaser that they did, the color is different. Like the color was different on the Brawn for the Fans toys.
Yeah, it was darker. Yep.
Yeah.
The Fans Cube one, you mean?
Fans Cube.
JD,
That's great.
don't you got a fucking peanut butter cookie to eat?
Maybe.
Yeah, go get it.
I'll be jealous that you can't eat one.
Yeah.
No, I could eat one.
Right.
Android
Too
in the
many.
chat. He said he doesn't
don't
mind a
have
bit
one
of
to eat.
style. Android doesn't mind them throwing a little bit of style on some of those animation designs. So that's cool. You know what I'm saying? And who else? I think Indy said, Bot in the chat said he loves the color of the Bad Cube version of that Brawn, but the mold of Fans Toys basically like takes it. So it's all, if only you could mix and match, right? Yeah.
So now we're getting into the drops from the weekend, right? And let's just move on.
Dude, look at that beak.
Ooh, look at that. Lazy beak?
I like Lazy Beak, yeah.
See, I don't know.
This is gonna be I hope they color it to where they make it tuned, but
I agree. This is one character I would really, really like a tuned version.
Yeah, you
just all by itself.
You know what? Seeing that, like seeing the comparison between the Masterpiece Soundwave and what Fans Toys is doing, like it's sort of like the difference of like the MP10 to like let's say the Magic Square.
Yeah.
Where you got those tuned proportions. Like there's something about like that smoothed out tuned proportion look that is appealing.
Yeah,
you know.
I'm not sure if I'm in on this.
Yeah, I don't.
Those hits.
Now, how do you feel about this, Brian? Now, this is Fans Toys going. You know what? We're going to tune aesthetic, and they're changing their whole fucking playbook.
Yeah. So, Fans Toys to me was the last. Well, I guess X Transbox kind of.
X Transbox, yeah.
But I mean, basically, they were the guys, you know, toting the old flag of here's what the Masterpiece aesthetic's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a mature look, you know, of what you envisioned it as a kid, right? And Takara sets the tone, right? They do it in their main line, they do it in their Masterpiece line, and it changes the attitude of the collectors. And these third parties, they have to adapt if they want to stay relevant, and that includes Fans Toys, right?
Yeah.
So basically, if Takara is going to go down the route of remaking all their existing figures, and from the drop of the hat in the beginning, Fans Toys are like, we want to contribute to the Masterpiece line, so they're changing up, basically.
Well, and we know that Takara is going to reissue Soundwave like a third or fourth time, right? That was announced not that long ago. So
they already did, yeah.
So from
they reissued it, it's coming out again.
Yeah, so another one. I'm just saying, so to offer something different is pretty smart for the timing, because
Now,
people who need to buy Soundwave, sorry, Don, but I was going to say it will have really good options now, you know. So
now, do you guys think, since now they're doing a reissue for the official, which is only including one tape, but the thing is that since Fans Toys saw that, and they're not changing any of the color. There's not a plus. It's not it's not anything that they're doing like the cars. So it's just a straight up reissue. Do you think Fans Toys was like, you know what? This is the time for us to jump back to our Soundwave and put an animated Soundwave out to market to fill the void?
That's what I meant, Tom. That's what I was just saying.
Okay.
I think it was strategic on their part to offer it again with an updated styling, like Brian was talking about, because of that feel.
Because all businesses are trying to make money, and at the end of the day, Fans Toys was a company who was just filling the holes, and this is one hole that hasn't been fulfilled yet from official.
Yeah, I'm
regards to going
I'm
to the
excited
function.
for this, probably more so than any other one in a long time.
I think this thing looks great, but again, I don't know. I mean, I'm probably gonna eat crow or whatever when
You're
it
in.
drops.
You're in.
I
Like,
get
You're
I
in.
get to
We
see it with some other bots.
Yeah,
yeah, but here's
we
I
need
mean,
to see it in color.
I mean,
Yeah,
this is the
same
thing. It's
color.
not I hear what Brian's saying because it's not a one-off. Because when you look at their triple changer, their what's the characters?
That don't. I need to see it.
Blitzwing.
Blitzwing. Yeah, it's like I'm saying, that Blitzwing even looks more animated to the point where
Alright, well,
it's very streamlined.
stop stealing thunder, Dom.
Okay, sorry.
All
right, So anyway, I mean, this is the
Yeah.
Quake Wave we just gushed about. I mean,
Yeah.
he's not tuned, right? This guy-
Yeah.
That's what Masterpiece was back then, and that's
Right,
what
but-
I was so like Fans Toys. I was so happy that Fans Toys for collectors like you, Brian, that were staying with that type of version.
Right. Well, stay on target, right?
Yeah.
So this guy's in a bin right now. Do I get this sound wave? He goes in the bin and he comes out.
That is true, man.
You don't go with this guy.
Yeah, that is a bit of a conundrum, man. Like I feel like somebody like me, like I could do the mix and match like sort of thing, and I don't think it would bother me too much. But I could get that some people are gonna be like, fuck, like Fans Toys was staying the course, and now like just based off what we're seeing off that render, it looks like they're smoothing some of their latest releases out and switching up their aesthetic to what Hasbro, Takara Tomy is doing with the Masterpiece line now. So it's,
And Jose, I'm with you. Like I've always been able to mix and match for that stuff, but I think it just depends how you display it as well.
yeah.
I'm glad that I kept my.
How does not everyone has everything in one giant shelf or one giant display, or even in the same spot of their display area? So,
And my Megatron, believe it or not, is not MP36. I have Combiner Wars Megatron with a bunch of upgrades on them because I don't like this tune look, man.
It's funny, Brian, too, because I like my whole thought process in regards to these two type of versions of tune and more realistic version. I feel like the realistic version is more towards the toy type of feel. And then like your tune version is just your tunes. And I was thinking like, when I'm displaying my Masterpiece with the toy, the G1 toy, I would use the old official and basically the Fans Toys. But then like if I wanted just one shelf to show all the G1 tunes, I would just go with all the pluses and any toys that Fan Toys is going to do with more two colors.
Brian's really selling me right now on this Fans Toys one though, because the more I look at the MP13, I'm like, if I want to look at that type of sound wave, I'll just pull out my G1.
Yeah.
Because the way the hinges are, the hip there and the elbows and stuff, and then I'm looking at the Fans Toys one, I'm like, man, that looks really like just clean,
And here's the thing: this thing looks amazing, but it's just like it's just not what I'm looking for. So I'm not mad at Fans. I think this is so smart of them to do.
Yeah, I agree.
It's incredibly smart for them to do this.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I mean,
dude.
you gotta go with the flow. I mean, you gotta go. I mean, if this is the direction that Takara Tomy is gonna go with Masterpiece, I felt like it was just inevitable that they'd go that route eventually, because that's what the new aesthetic is gonna be. Like, imagine 5 years, 6 years from now, they're trying to still do the old style and everything is now tuned. Like they'd be left in the.
We have to
thing
remember
is
that people aren't like, not everybody's been in this since the very beginning either. You know what I mean?
True.
So,
Yeah.
Very true.
and where they're picking from, right? They're picking from the plus version of Wheeljack and the plus version of Smokescreen coming out and the plus version of Blue Streak and the plus version of Prowl and a new MP44. So, from a business point of view, you're right. I think they're being smart because if someone wants that other look, they can still buy the reissue of Soundwave.
Well, look, you just said it. And somebody in the chat, Video Pirate 74, he says he doesn't have a Soundwave yet, so he'll wait to see what Fans Toys has to offer. We have to remember that, guys. We've been in this. We're sort of jaded in a way. Like we're all in.
We're very jaded.
There's guys that come into this shit every day. Somebody new coming into the hobby where this is a whole new world to them, and they have all these choices. So,
like Brian, it's funny.
Would you say we're OGs? OG one,
OG Bottle
one,
OG triple OG.
The funny thing is, Brian, the official Soundwave
Trademarking
with your X Transbot Megatron and your freaking Quake Wave look good together.
Yeah, they do.
Would look all good together. Then your Fans Toys Soundwave and your freaking official Quake Wave and
Lavender Wave,
and then
MP36
and MP36.
Yeah.
Like it's like if you were in the beginning and you were able to pick these things up, like I can see how hard it is to go back to pick some of these old figures up to do toy or cartoon, and it could get frustrating. I can see it.
I can see how clean it is, but I don't think it's gonna be super tuned when it comes out because
it all depends now.
Just the way they paint their product, it's more like.
Well, if they paint those legs,
that's why I'm saying I want to wait till it comes out.
Yeah.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like looking at this, it looks way too plain. But I'm sure once they paint it, it's gonna look completely different. Once we get the colors to break it up.
Yep.
I mean,
but look at the legs.
JD, it looks like there's less screws to fall out in your copy.
But look at the thighs; like it's smoother than the official. And
all I want to know is when JD places his order, wherever you order from, let me know so I can order after yours ship.
Now, do you guys think they're gonna like paint it as like two types of paints, where they're gonna give one that's more of a toy color and then one more of a toon color?
Yep. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It would be.
And they're gonna make a black one too.
They will.
We'd be silly to think that wasn't coming at some point. I mean, we've seen the history now, so
they'll do whatever they have planned here for this, just the base model. Yeah. Then they're gonna do the black one, and then they'll do
the toon color. Whatever they don't do on this one.
Yeah.
I mean, they're even softening up the hands like M44 and stuff. So, all right.
Damn, that looks good.
Shall we move on? We got the Blitzwing. Anybody trading up?
I waited. I waited
as well.
I had that fucking pre-ordered so long ago.
Dude, my pre-order is paid for over a year ago.
Dude,
wow.
The interest.
Yeah. I own that DX9 one, and that was a really cool, imposing robot. It was stylized, and it wasn't really fitting with the other stuff, and the tank mode was really silly, but the robot mode was pretty cool.
That DX9 is the one in the middle?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Which is the one that came with the football?
That's Ditka, the one on the top.
The one with the wonky knees.
Best name ever, though. But yeah, just what a shame.
You fucking missed leg day, I tell you.
I almost went for the Ditka though.
Yeah.
You went for the Ditka?
Yeah. Yep. Almost went for it.
Dude, that was just such a great episode when they built that arena and they made the coach try and give him plays. It was all great.
And then here we have he's back again. So
I'll be trading in for this one, bro.
Well, what if they would have put that Perfect Fusion name on the top of that?
So I have my first Spindrift, which I'm selling anyway, because I had decided to go on this before this weekend. On the X Transbots. And I think this X Transbots is more reminiscent now of the old Fans Toy style versus this one.
Yeah.
But I can't deny that this is a nice update. The Fans Toys 2.0 is a nice update to this Sumbo.
Right.
So it's tough. I don't know what to do.
I was just telling you guys before we came on, I think I ordered the X Transbots today as a very spontaneous purchase. I don't know why, honestly, just because I think I was bored.
You spontaneous? No.
I know, right? So,
I'm probably gonna wind up selling my Fans Toys original one for the new one.
Yeah, I dropped my X-Trans bot.
So you want the tubby bastard instead of the fucking skinny heroic guy?
Yeah, definitely.
see,
But I will say it was well done. I mean, I like it. It's a little cute, cool little toy.
Just put them on a separate display with your, Motu Classics Merman, and just kind of do a little. I'll talk the same way.
The funny thing is like X-Trans bot and Bad Cube has been my one-offs that I've been buying for Masterpiece, and it's just if I would never change and go back and if I knew what I knew now and not buy those when they did come out. So it's like it sucks, but it's just it's what we had to go through during the whole process.
Yep. And so here they are teasing Cliff Jumper and Huffer. We're at the end here, Gary.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Dude, I made it.
Bedtime.
Dude, it's almost 11 o'clock.
I know.
Dude, that Huffer, man. Is anybody gonna get rid of their what is it?
I would have to see more pictures of it.
Yeah, I have both the Cubex and the Bad Cube.
So remember, like, my paint was chipping off of this one. I'm like, I gotta get rid of it. Fortunately, Jisk wanted it. This I can't sell because he won't stand. So he's in a Rock'em Sock'em Robot display I made out of constructs. And this is the new Bad Cube. Yeah.
Brian, the one you sold to Jisk, was like a few years ago or recently?
Yeah. No, a few years ago.
Yeah, it wound up in my house next.
Oh, all right. So you have them in truck mode then or something?
No, I wound up selling them at NJCC.
Oh, all right.
Because I got the Bad Cube.
So, yeah. But, so who's... Dude, I don't know if I want to trade up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's going to be a hard kind of...
Yeah, I mean, this...
Trade up.
I'm not digging this. This is
too
toony for... This is too toony for... I'm out, dude.
And it's hazy and, it's like definitely...
God knows when it's going to come out.
This is not what I want. Yeah.
Well, here's my thought on that Cliff Jumper silhouette. Is I think Fans Toys is slick enough to know how badly people want a better Cliff Jumper that's not like settling.
Yeah.
It's their way to say, hey, we're gonna eventually get to everything like we've always talked about. So buy all of our stuff so it will all look good together, and sooner or later you'll get your Cliff Jumper.
I think that was the basis for this whole show.
Yeah.
Is what I meant by that. It's like, hey, should we wait on Fans Toys for everything or what?
I bought the X-Trans bots. That's the one I have right now.
I got
Don't
the
give
Oscar,
him that power. Don't give him that
Oscar
power.
Max.
Yeah, we have both X-Trans bots and the Ocular Max.
Yeah.
I like the Ocular Max one, actually.
Ocular Max looked really fun as far as like transformation and stuff, but again, like to me, it just didn't look like as masterpiece as what the X-Trans bots did, despite the backpack. And whatnot.
I like how he looks next to MP Masterpiece B. I'm scared. I don't know what this is going to look like. Like, is this going to be two-tune as well? Because I would love to swipe out my Cliff Jumper.
Cliff Jumper is one of my favorites. I can't wait to see what it looks like.
I might end up getting a second one.
That's me as a fucking robot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You are a little hothead, Dave.
Yeah, exactly.
That's me as a robot.
Oh, it's funny.
Oh. So I didn't do the Astro Train because that's just a slam dunk. No one's keeping that DX9. But here we go. Boo, boo, boo. We're coming back to the future, and we're back.
Marty.
That was a nice job, Brian.
That was good, Brian. Thank you.
Look at you. Look at you. You tell Brian to do your homework, man. Like you said in the beginning, Dave.
Like what? As cranky as we get sometimes, what a great time. Like how many choices there are still though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like Gary, I was like saying that. Like when I was thinking to myself yesterday, I was like, I bought a lot of X-Trans bot stuff for MP. I bought a lot of Bad Cube stuff for MP. But like when going through those growing pains, there's there's some enjoyment to all that. Like, you know, it is frustrating at the end because Fans Toys is coming out. It is a good company. It's coming out with all these other mini bats and stuff that X-Trans it has done or whatever it's done. But the thing is that, but that's just the basic growing pains. It's like we're going to be going through that continuously.
Yeah,
this collecting.
I think. I mean, this is maybe a topic we've done before, and it's really late for me, so maybe I'm just sleepy. But I think it's about your collection intentions too. So if you treat it like a chore and you're trying to reach that theoretical finish line that Dave's talked about before, then yeah, you're going to be really frustrated. If you're enjoying the journey along the way, and you're enjoying the interests of owning stuff and enjoying having it while you have it, then I don't think it's as big of a deal if your interests change and your collection adapts.
That's what I'm saying. Like, don't get caught up in the hype in regretting something that you bought previously because there's something new coming out a year later or 2 years later, whatever the case may be.
But I just noticed something now that I'm not on my phone and I have a better picture. Brian, is that Sand Trooper got his legs crossed, sitting down on Omega's foot? There,
nah, he's kneeling and just kind of.
Oh, okay. The angle. I swear to God, the way it looked like he was sitting on his foot, like his leg crossed,
reading a book.
Right. Sorry, my bad.
All right. I mean, that was an awesome pictorial, Brian. Thanks for putting all that together. Thank you guys for the discussion tonight. I mean, pretty awesome stuff. We ran a little bit over. We don't usually go this long, but with all the stuff coming out of the weekend, I think this show was well deserved. So thank you for everybody hanging out with us late tonight. Of course, we always do continue unbroadcasted in the ROC Hangout. We will throw out the link. We probably won't have much time together as usual, but we'll see what happens. Let's just run it down the line real quick, get some where you at, and we'll call it a night. Brian Brink, I'll start with you, brother.
You can find me, Brian Brink, in the Facebook groups, at Brinklizer on Instagram. I don't know if you'll see me tomorrow. JD, will you see me tomorrow?
I don't know. I may.
All right. But, all right. So maybe tomorrow, figure banging, maybe not.
Maybe not.
There may be not.
Hope you guys enjoyed that show. That was kind of fun to put together.
Yeah.
Awesome. Energon Addict.
Yo, you can find me here on Tuesdays. Brian, I want to thank you again for putting that together. I literally spoke to Brian for like 4 minutes on the phone, and within 45 minutes, he already had half of that done.
Boom.
So, Brian, good shit, bro. Thank you.
No problem, man. And thanks again, Antoine, for having that stuff ready. It was quite easy searching Facebook on Antoine's page to get a lot of that stuff, and a happy belated birthday again too. So.
And I'm just gonna say this one thing: we have a certain member on our Monday show, Chris Pinkerton, who's always quoted that Pinkerton approach.
Mm-hmm.
I think dude had something really, going with that, because when I'm looking at my shelf now, I would say 90% of the stuff I'm going to keep is either our masterpiece or Fans Toys. So
was he clairvoyant on that?
Yeah. He's a prophet.
You gotta get it right though. It's Fans Cube now.
yo, you missed it, Dave. Yo, you fucking walked away. He said bad toys.
Bad toys.
I said bad toys.
No. We had another Domism, yo.
They're good. They're good games.
I'm gonna have to watch the show again and just fucking
Trans Battle.
X-Trans Battle. We had Lazy Beak.
Remember a few years back, Katara?
Bad toys.
Katara, you guys gotta love this shit.
You have like verbal dyslexia.
You're gold, bro. You're fucking gold,
I'm tired.
You're
I'm
fucking
tired,
gold.
and my mouth doesn't want to speak.
Wow, that's surprising.
Shut up, JD.
You do a lot of talking. You do a lot of talking just for the sake of talking.
Oh, did you shout yourself out, Energon Addict?
I did.
Okay.
I guess.
Energon Addict all over.
Energon Addict, Instagram, and everywhere else.
All right, Nikki, let him know.
Yeah, I'm Dom across on the groups, and obviously JD thinks I do a lot of talking. So
oh God,
I'm not going to talk anymore.
Don't trigger him. He triggered right off. Right when we went up the
where JD doesn't do any talking. So
he's taking JD's time. He's taking JD's time.
Go talk, JD.
Hey, I'll fucking mute you again. Listen.
Mute me again, JD.
Yo, that shit was funny. We were already off the air when that shit happened. You guys missed it by 5 seconds.
He was mad.
We already
He
off the air?
rage quit.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he did.
Don't get the
muted
pleasure of thinking that you got me mad, JD, because you will never ever get me mad, JD.
Really?
You will never ever piss me off. Just let me know. I'll let you know that right now.
I'll fucking leave.
I had to go attend to the
he was
missus,
gone.
and I just wanted to get the fuck off.
Sure.
In-
It's like
in-
Thor at the end when Star-Lord's like, I'm the leader, and he's like, of
God.
course.
Yeah, of course. And then I got Dave going, man, he's just joking, texting me. I'm like, I know he's joking.
Oh, see, but that's being a good friend, though. They actually hit you up. See, look at that.
Well, JD didn't hit me up, fucker.
Because you were
Oh.
pissed.
If you got your friend mad, wouldn't you like text him and say,
He didn't
hey,
want that fire.
I was just joking, man?
He didn't want that fire.
That's messed up, JD. That's messed up, man.
Showing the love.
Well,
Come on, let's finish this. So Gary,
Yeah. Gary wants to go to sleep.
I want
Gary,
Gary to go to sleep.
Gary, you're up.
Sleeping
You're
right
up,
now.
brother. You're up.
Yeah, I'm easy. So just Gary Allen in the Facebook groups. You can find me there.
He's easy. One
There you
drink.
go.
One drink.
And it's 10 to 11, and I'm still here. So
Yo,
Mark-
high five, bro.
woo!
Shout out to new Chromebook is keeping it alive.
I'm prepping for TFCon in a few months. I got to start now.
There we go. Yo, I'm gonna be ready for the gym, bro. I'm gonna be 185 solid.
Bring your stuff. Bring your stuff.
Solid by resting. I'm motivated.
Every event, I always throw it out there. No one takes me up on it, but
We
We're
got it
there.
recorded. What episode is this?
We're there, dude.
78?
77. We're gonna be in like 90 something maybe by then. We're doing it, bro. We're doing it. It's happening. Yeah, Dave's giving me the.
What, you guys are going to
Let's see
jail?
let's see how high
What
we
the
get
fuck
Jose
is
the
hard
night
about
before.
Don't give me any edibles, all right?
Yeah.
They don't work.
They don't work.
We're gonna be up till 2-3 o'clock at night. What the fuck are you talking about? You're gonna go to the gym at 7 o'clock. Fuck you.
All right, we'll see. All right, Pigment surgery. Let them know.
You can find me Instagram, Xbox Live, Pigment Surgery. Here every Tuesday. You can find me brain farting. Possibly tomorrow.
Silent but deadly.
Don't get me fucking mad, JD. Don't get me mad.
You can find me pissing Dom off, even though I love him.
Never.
He said you'll never get him mad. We'll test that soon.
I love you, Dom.
Aww.
See,
All right,
you know,
guys.
Pissed. You know,
See, he didn't say it back. So, yeah, see, he's
exactly.
mad. He's fucking mad.
fuck
Fucking mad.
you.
JD knows I love him.
You're supposed to say I know.
All right.
I know.
Yeah.
Han Solo.
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
it. Or just say, me too. So
As he's
so
throwing
you
me-
love yourself too.
Carbonite. I know.
All right, guys. To wrap this up, I'm Harrick and BX all over social media. Check out Verbally Challenged with Harrick and BX on all audio platforms. Here on BTM with these fine gentlemen that I love so much every single Tuesday,
It's a fucking lie.
every other Wednesday night on Figure Banging. I'm
You
like
have to
George
pay Jose to be
Washington.
here.
I cannot tell a lie. I love you guys. Yeah, so you know what it is. Check out Realm of Collectors on social media. We're on Facebook as a group, Realm of Collectors, on Instagram at Realm of Collectors. Check out the rest of the shows on the Cool Table, Enter the Realm, this show Breaking the Mold, Shattercast Uncut, Nerd Rage Radio, Plastic Fanatics, Toy Detox, Stasis Lock, Building Up to It, Fresh Communication, Beer and Bolters 40K, 8 weeks, and Verbally Challenged, as I mentioned earlier. Please check it out. Check out Crashbox Customs on social media for all your Mezco and diorama needs. If you mention the word realm, you might get a special thing with your purchase. So
Thing.
let us know. Let us know what that thing is, because I don't know what it is. Let me know. I think I forgot to mention realm when I bought my dial from Chris, because I don't think I got anything. So I fucked up. I didn't say realm.
He's been putting
You gotta-
some extra stuff.
You got a
in
fucking handshake and a smile. That's what
I
you
fucked
get.
up. I didn't say realm, but it's true. I didn't say realm. I fucked up. All right, guys. There's an audio version of this podcast. If you don't want to watch us, you can listen on
Don't watch
all
us.
audio platforms. Check us out. And as always, like I said, ROC Hangout continues next. Look for the link in the Realm of Collectors Facebook group. And if you're watching and listening live, we're done. We'll see you next week.
Holy shit.
Peace
They-
out, guys.
Dom doesn't show his face because he's really a girl.
Yeah.